Welcome back to Liverpool 12 Man Show. We're going to, I guess, before we start and discuss anything about transfers, or we're going to talk about preseason. We're going to talk about the World Cup, of course, and just a whole bunch of stuff. But I want to begin with some terrible news for our Reds community. I am deeply saddened to inform my Reds of the passing of the legendary Kevin Keegan. I think I speak for all Liverpool supporters everywhere when I say that we mourn the loss of an extraordinary Red and one of the most influential players ever to represent this football club in many facets. Kevin Keegan has passed away at the age of 75, bringing to an end the life of a man who I think helped transform Liverpool into champions of England, helped transform us into champions of Europe. This is a profoundly sad day, not only for Liverpool Football Club, but for football as a whole. Keegan would go on to achieve a lot of different things, a lot of remarkable success with other clubs, along with Liverpool as well, obviously. But he went on to have success with Hamburg. He won the Ballon d'Or twice. He captained England. He later became one of the most recognizable and charismatic managers in English football. But I believe it was Anfield, or at least my own biases for it, hold on to our Reds that really do mean something to us. It was at Anfield where Kevin Keegan first established himself as a genuine superstar. He arrived from Scunthorpe, I believe how you pronounce it.
Yeah, Scunthorpe, yeah. That's exactly how you pronounce it, mate. Scunthorpe United, yep.
1971, as a relatively unknown young player. By the time he left Liverpool 6 years later, he helped the club win 3 league championships, 2 UEFA Cups, an FA Cup, and Liverpool's first European Cup. Keegan was not merely someone who benefited from Liverpool's rise. He was one of the driving forces behind it. His partnership with John Toshik became iconic. Excuse me. They complemented one another so naturally that Bill Shankly famously compared their understanding of each other to telepathy. Keegan played with energy, courage, and personality. He was never intimidated by the stage, the opposition, or the expectations put on him. That spirit has helped carry Liverpool from domestic success to European greatness, and that was a part of his help, certainly. May his legacy continue to live on through the generations of Liverpool supporters who were fortunate enough to watch him. I was not, but I know that there are those that have and were able to watch his brilliance. And those who will learn about everything he accomplished, I hope that you do go and learn about the man, the legend. Rest in peace, Kevin Keegan. Tough loss for Reds community. I know Lee had something to say. I just wanted to bring in Lee, who's joining me today.
I'm just trying to resuscitate my phone so I can have the comments next to me. But anyway, it'll power up eventually. He was a legend for us. He was the original king. It was King Kev on the banners, and then it was King Kenny. But he went on to have legendary status for Newcastle as well. And he was a superb little player. We bought him as an attacking midfielder, and Shankly turned him into a forward rather than an attacking midfielder. And he was superb. He was just a bundle of energy. It's a bit of a cliche, but a little bundle of energy, like a jack in the box, you know what I mean? And his heading was great for a little man. And he had some great finishes in him. But, we wanted to move on. I mean, he went to Hamburg to win the European Cup, but ironically, they did not win it until he left and come back home to Southampton. They won it the year after he left, I think, Hamburg. But that was the side he was in, Hamburg, anyway, that he left to join for the big money. And we got Kenny. So there was no, we didn't hate on him because we got Kenny anyway, you know what I mean? before my time. So when I come in, like, I had no reason to think, oh, he left us because, like, we got Kenny instead, you know what I mean? Swimmingly. But he was a legend for us, Kevin Keegan, so he'll be missed, yeah. And then obviously he was a manager, you know, when I was around, when I was a young man, he was a manager then, sort of thing, like. But I never seen him playing in the flesh, like, you know, I'm not that old. But, you know, that's what videos are for. That's what VHS was for when I was a lad. You can get your videos of old Liverpool out and see Kevin Keegan doing the biz. Scored some great goals, like.
Yeah. It never feels easy to transition away from news like that, I guess. But football moves forward. The people who help build its history remain part of everything that follows. So that's how we have to look at it, as in we move forward, but yet he is part of the foundation that we move forward on. And Kevin Keegan definitely represented Liverpool with courage, energy, and ambition. Those are qualities that modern Liverpool team players and managers must rediscover, I think. With that in mind, let's turn our attention to what I wanted to talk about also, which is another manager. You're talking about him as an England manager. Now let's move on to someone who's supposed to be the German manager. Apparently, former Liverpool manager Jürgen Klopp was among those in attendance for Sunday's World Cup at MetLife Stadium. But getting into the building apparently proved very difficult for even Jürgen Klopp. It was pretty wild. Getting to the building apparently was like basically very difficult for him as managing Liverpool through injury crisis, let's call it, because Klopp was working as a pundit for German broadcast Magenta TV throughout the tournament. He was part of his coverage alongside, you know, people like Thomas Müller, and attended the final between Spain. However, the arrival of the Orange Man himself resulted in an enormous security operation. And that's the annoying thing about whenever our current president, some of us refer to him as the Orange Man, when the president, or when he shows up whenever the president, whether it's him or anyone else, shows up to an event, the event has to go through so many more protocols when it comes to security. So supporters and members of the media had already been advised to arrive early because of the additional screening procedures. Obviously, a lot of the time or lengthy queues started to get longer and longer as Secret Services had to go through checks and all this other crap. But Klopp was reportedly caught in the same confusion as the rest of the media. He had to wait for hours before reaching the broadcasting area because he didn't take the precaution and arrive extra early. He just arrived in normal time, thinking it would be okay. And during the coverage, Klopp confirmed that talks over becoming the next German manager were progressing positively. He said nothing had been completely finalized, but acknowledged that he had reached an agreement with Red Bull that would allow for him to leave the role as head of global soccer. By the way, that's what they called it, not me. That's what they call it, head of global soccer. And according to Klopp, practically nothing now stands in the way of him joining Germany. So it's just pretty interesting to see. Pretty interesting to see that even Jurgen Klopp had to wait in line. Like, you think he would get a pass and be like, okay, I can vouch for him. He's good, you know. But even he had to wait in line. What do you think about him joining Germany now? Are you excited about seeing that happen?
I'm happy for him if it makes him happy, yes. And I hope it goes okay for him. I hope he isn't too bad. It's a tough one, though. Like, it's a tough job to please people. You know, he's going to have lots of ex-players criticising him before he's even started. But he'll know that, you know what I mean? He's a smart man, Jürgen Klopp, and he'd be well prepared for that. Like, as long as it makes him happy, yeah, I'm happy for him. And at least we don't have to see him managing another club, because we would inevitably have to come up against him. If he was managing another club, it'd be a club in the Champions League, and we'd inevitably come to play them eventually. So at least it's an international side, and that won't happen.
Very, very true. Very, very true. Wait, hold on 1 second.
Yeah, I'm pleased for him.
Bring someone aboard. We're going to bring Biggie Smalls aboard.
Yeah. Jürgen's heard you talking about Jürgen, so I better bop on.
Yeah, there you go.
Agent and all that.
There you go. How are you doing today?
I'm cool, bro. How you guys? I hope you guys are cool.
Yeah. We're dealing with, I mean, obviously the tough news about Kevin Keegan hit hard, but we're doing, but you know, it's the day after the World Cup. I was just talking about how Jürgen Klopp had issues getting into the game. Apparently he had to wait in line and go through all these extra precautions, security checks to get in. He was late trying to get to his post, but he did talk about on the broadcast that he is going to be obviously the next German coach, and that he's gotten his exit from Red Bulls, and he's excited about the opportunity. He's excited about getting back into football. And I was just asking Lee about what his thoughts were. What are your thoughts, as being obviously someone that lives in Germany? What are your thoughts?
For sure, big up the chat as always, Red Armchair, and everyone else in the chat there. Great news, bro. When he left Liverpool, I was like, I'd love for him to be a manager at this World Cup that just happened. It was like I said, it was this one. And Nagelsmann went through a phase where I think if he lost a few more friendlies, he might not even reach the World Cup. And I thought Jürgen might have took it. Jürgen, it was great for him to be like the media guy there. He met Robbie Williams and all these type of people. Everyone knows Jürgen Klopp, bro. Everyone, you know what I mean?
Well, not everyone, obviously. They didn't know him. Secret Service don't know him, but I got what you're saying.
Of course they don't. But it was good for him to just look at the international world from a spectator's point of view, to study it for the next World Cup in Portugal, Morocco, and Spain, you know. But fair play to Jürgen, man. He deserves that. That's one job we didn't have to face it at club level as a team. So that's another blessing in disguise. He's doing the international thing. Yeah. But all in all, bro, I just wanted to say my words about Kevin Keegan, bro. Kevin Keegan was a football guy. He had this passion about him when he used to give interviews, what I really loved. And as a player, he won 2 Ballon d'Ors as well. Yep. You know, you would never, like, Salah didn't even get one. So think about the level he was at them days, you know. He's like 75. It's a good age, you know, as well. But I was thinking he wasn't feeling great the last few years of it. And I just loved that interview he gave when he was the Newcastle manager, where Liverpool fans started supporting Newcastle because they were putting a battle up against United. And he was like, "Is it like I'm gonna?" He gave this interview, it was just great, and just to see that passion, and that sort of deteriorated from the game as well. Them type of characters, Kevin Keegan, you know what I mean? And he was a Liverpool guy, went to Hamburg, and the rest is history. But I wish I'll give our condolences to his family from our channel, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to ask you though about the appointment of Jürgen. Is obviously a great appointment for him. I always knew you always had a feeling that this was the next logical move for him. He wasn't going to necessarily go to something. He wasn't going to go to obviously another England club, and there are very few clubs that meet his type of level of stardom, I guess, that would be accountable. So I'm glad he didn't choose Real Madrid. I'm glad he didn't choose like a Bayern Munich or something, you know, or something along those lines. But
bro,
but
ever since Nagelsmann and Germany sort of went out, the whole media, like you'd go on trains and Jürgen Klopp's face is there, and it will be saying da 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 da. You go past like TVs in the streets, and you got news agents like shops where you would have Jürgen Klopp interested in the Germany job and all this. So the Germans want him. Every guy I've talked to, they want Jürgen, man. They love Jürgen. You know, what Red Armchair said, the Munich Brigade via the media will be putting their knives in as soon as they've got a chance to do so. But if you're Jürgen Klopp, he's a normal human being, and that's why he clicked with Liverpool. And if you can click with Liverpool, you're going to click anywhere. You know, I can't wait for Wirtz to work with him. That's the combo I would have preferred if it was at Liverpool, of course. But just to see them two working together and see how they, like, whatever he teaches Wirtz is going to make him a better player for Liverpool. That's another beauty. You get me? So you know Jürgen's going to talk to him about Liverpool. You know he's going to say, hey, do this, do that. Boom. Sorted, bro. That's going to be great to see. And we'll see also Jürgen bringing out the youth, at the German youth players, bringing them through. It could be good times for Germany now. You know?
Yeah.
It could be good times.
Is it that, did Nagelsmann do that bad of a job, do you think? Or
But it was, yeah, when you look at it, bro, they went out a long time ago. You know, it feels like ages ago. This World Cup was long. Trudon said it earlier when we was with Fozzie. Bless up Fozzie as well, and Ante. That this World Cup felt long, and it felt like a long time ago Germany went out. You know? I wasn't a big fan of his anyway. I think his face just told me he looked like a guy who couldn't just hug the player and say, you know what, lad, don't worry about it next game, you know, like what a Jürgen would do. So I was never a big fan of Nagelsmann, but he did play the formation and the players I liked. Like he had Sane there, Wirtz, and then he had Havertz up top, and then he had Musiala in there. I think in the last game when they went out, what happened? He took Musiala out. Yeah, and put Undav in. And then he played it like that, you know what I mean? So, yeah. We'll get another job anywhere else anyway. But now's the time for Germany to sort of not rock the boat and keep it settled. It's an important time now for Germany because there's a few good little players coming through. One lad got injured, the Bayern Munich lad, who was becoming a bit of a star for Bayern as well. He got injured just pre-World Cup. I'm not sure.
Is that the one called Carl? Do you mean he's called something Carl? Leonard Carl?
Yes, Carl.
Yeah. So I don't know, it's important times now for Germany. Where are the next Euros, Lee, you know?
Oh, I don't know, JK, I'm not sure. But Jürgen Klopp's a smart man, and what he is well informed. He'll know that it's a tough job, the Germany job, and he'll get criticism. Probably before he's even played a match, he'll get criticism for picking a squad. Probably, so he'll be prepared for that. Do you know what I mean? He'll be prepared for that. It won't bother Jürgen Klopp. He'll just get on with the job of managing Germany. And I hope it goes well for him. I really do.
He knows the media.
You guys are bad.
Why?
Because if I had said where are the biggest tournament in my continents, location, if I had said I don't know where it's going to be held, and when you recognize it, it's being held in the UK.
It's Ireland, isn't it? It's Ireland. Yeah.
No way.
Republic of Ireland.
Euro 96 repeated. It was good, Euro 96. I'm a bit sad that I didn't try and go to one of the games at Anfield. Italy picked Anfield on purpose. They said we want to play all our games at Anfield because we buzz off Anfield, and they did. But
include 12 because Everton Stadium's being used. Man City, and it's Ireland, Wales.
It could be Everton, St. James Park, Villa Park.
Well, get on this. In 1966, Anfield wasn't used at all for the World Cup. Goodison Park was, because Goodison Park was the better stadium then. It ain't now because it's not getting used anymore. It's at Goodison Park.
Tottenham
But
Stadium
in
as well,
Euro
bro.
96, it was Anfield, like, getting used. I think Goodison might have been used in Euro 96 for something as well, okay? But, like, I remember specifically that Italy asked, can we play all our games at Anfield?
I wonder why Anfield's not going to be used. I wonder why Anfield's not going to be used this time.
Yeah. They went with the new stadium with Everton down the road. It's
Everton,
a nice little complex they made.
Even with the new stadium, their stadium doesn't hold as many people as Anfield.
It's not what? Sorry.
Anfield still holds more people than Everton Stadium.
Yeah, I think theirs is just under 60. Is it 59, something like that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised about that.
Is it because
it's brand new all over? It's a new stadium all over. We've got 2 new stands, or relatively new stands, but the other 2 are aging now, so that's probably why they picked the other one. Plus, it's on the dock front, you know what I mean? So it's close to the private buildings and everything for people who want to have a nose round while they're in Liverpool. It's more handily situated. That's probably one of the considerations, because Anfield's just like, mate,
in the middle of the
not easy to get to, and like Everton's one is much, much closer to everything you'd want to see if you were a visitor coming from outside Liverpool.
I thought it was just because maybe they didn't want to hear the Evertonians cry. We don't get anything. No, I'm just
Oh, you better believe that some of their fans will be giving it. Yeah, they're using ours because yours is crap. Well, at least one of them will probably say that to me, I would imagine, in the pub, like, over coming years or something.
So, Jürgen's
the type of thing an Evertonian would say to you in a pub if he was trying to get on your wick, get on your nerves.
Yeah.
I think Jürgen's sort of first tournament will be that Euros then. So he'll be playing in England. So he'll be used to that climate, that way of football.
That's his first.
It's going to be good.
His first major tournament will be in England. I mean, depending on where they play, obviously, because I mean, it is the United Kingdom and the Republic of Ireland involved in this. So,
they're winning it, bro.
He could be
say it now.
Okay, there you go.
There you go. Jürgen, they're going to win it.
I know that Wales is involved, obviously, because it's the UK. And then Scotland is involved too, which is cool.
Hampden Park,
and then obviously Dublin, which is a big city in Ireland. So maybe Brian will get to go to a game or something like that too. Maybe that'd be cool.
You know what? I'd love to go to one in Glasgow or somewhere as well.
Yeah, I'd love to go to Glasgow.
My cousins are there.
Much respect.
I've been a few times. Edinburgh's a great city. The people are so nice. It's like, you know, when you're from England and then you go to cities where they're really nice, like Liverpool, bro. The people, I'm not just saying because I support Liverpool. Trust me, the people they give you that extra, oh, how are you, son? And, you know, that type of talk. It ain't that, oh, you're right. It ain't none of that downtrodden. You know, that, why are you even work? I've actually gone a bit thingy with customer service whenever I'm around the world and that, and someone gives me poor customer service. I don't I tell them straight, like, what you playing at here? I said, why are you actually working here? You know what I mean?
Sure.
And Liverpool, they're really nice, bro. The people, Glasgow, Edinburgh, really helpful, nice people, you know?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm happy to hear that Jürgen's getting a new gig. I think this will extend. I definitely think that this will not only maybe even revitalize a little bit of international football, you know, with his character and his presence, but like it'll certainly extend our ability to see him on the pitch, you know, obviously not playing, but coaching. I think that's fantastic for football in general.
I've heard just earlier, hi Norman in the chat as well, bro. Great to see you. And Bonkers. Italy want Pep Guardiola as their new manager. So, whoa, imagine that.
Wait, what did you just say?
Pep Guardiola, Italy want him as their new manager because they're realising, sitting at home at this World Cup, they're missing out. And they need someone to come and sort this mess out. So they're going for Pep Guardiola, bro.
It's a good shout. It's a good shout.
Imagine that. Him and Jürgen, Germany, Italy final.
He might just take that gig too, to be honest with you.
You reckon?
Because I mean, like, I can see him taking the gig primarily because one, Italy is beautiful. It's got incredible weather, and like, so like Italy and Spain are very, very comparable when it comes to the climate and weather, and the food and the culture is very intense and
It's the same, yeah.
the same, like as in when it comes to like the passion, but like I could see him taking it because it's a certain, but it's a challenge. It's an incredible challenge, and
but look at that. Yeah,
him to go to, him to go to Italy and have to take on probably an established form or thought of how Italian football works, and then for him to go to Italy and say, "I want to play it differently. I want you to play this way," is going to be very interesting.
I've only just seen that now. Norm's been saying Italy's in talks with him. Well, that's interesting. Him and Jürgen both going international in the same summer, maybe. I think it'd be a good one for him. He's enjoyed a life there, I think, and it'd be up to him to try and qualify them for the World Cup, wouldn't it? Next time round, and the Euros, because let's be honest, they need it. They've struggled to qualify. I can't remember even who it was who knocked them out of the World Cup qualifying, but it was no one celebrating.
I'll give you. Oh, okay, go ahead.
Maybe like Armenia or someone, or Kazakhstan.
It was someone. Who was it, bro? Who knocked Italy out of that playoffs? It weren't Macedonia because they weren't there.
Someone like that.
I'm just trying to remember. I didn't even think I watched that game, actually.
It was the team that we played, I think. I think it was Bosnia.
It was Bosnia, bro. It was, because I remember that game.
When I say we, I mean U.S. men's national team played. We played Bosnia. Yeah. So in essence,
Italy, they lost to them because I've been to Italy a lot of times, and I've always had a big connection to their football. And so to see, like, one of my best mates is Italian, and I was like, bro, sort that out. They need sorting out. Italy used to be the trendsetter of the football world, and what's happened to them? They can't qualify. They ain't got no strikers as well, bro. They've got that whole West Ham guy.
They're the 2020 Euros champion, or
yeah,
I think it was 2020, right? Or they played in 2021 because of the pandemic, but 2020
they won it.
Yeah, they were the ones that won the Euros because they played in finalisma, right, against Argentina, and lost 3. I think they lost like 3-0 or something like that. So I remember, I think Di Maria scored or something like that. I was gonna. There was something else I was gonna bring up. Hold on, let me figure out what I was. Get my train of thought back to tell you what I was gonna say. I can't remember what I was going to say, but it's all good. It's all good. We can just move on.
Well, I wish Jürgen the best. I hope he gets into it. And for me, Pep Guardiola, yeah, nice sort of job for him. Like, you don't have to be there every day, you know what I mean? So that might be a good thing for him to do.
I think that's a fantastic portion of it. It's fantastic.
Give him a bit of time to chill, you know what I mean? I like Pep Guardiola. I wish he was Liverpool manager one day, but hey, it is what it is. But fair play to him if he goes with Italy. I'll be happy for him.
Yeah. Heck. That's what I was going to say. One, Manchester City is the Etihad is a part of the
Euros.
Yeah. One of the stadiums that's getting used.
Villa Park as well, bro. I remember now because they're doing that up as well.
Yeah.
They're under right now. I watched a video earlier on today where they're taking one of their stands out and they're designing some next level thing. And Man City just did the same as well. They've extended that one of the stands behind the goals. They put another tier on and they've sort of made a hotel and everything behind it. So they're all sort of Tottenham, for me, world-class stadium, no problem. Wembley also, bang. So they've got some good stadiums for this Euros coming up.
Yeah, no, I mean, they figured, I guess the Euros figured Manchester City can't fill the stadium, so maybe they can fill the stadium. No, all jokes aside. I just lost my memory. I was going to say something else about the Manchester City thing. Makes me laugh though.
It used to be Old Trafford that used to get the big games. Now it's Man City. Man, they don't even look at that. It's mad. United and Liverpool, the most successful clubs in England, they both of them didn't get the Euro spots.
Mm-hmm. Well, I did
Old
know.
Trafford needs a lot of work.
The other thing I was going to say, or the original thing I was going to say, where I had lost my train of thought on earlier, was my bold prediction is Italy, with Pep or without Pep, will make the next World Cup. And why I know that's like, oh wow, bold statement. It's like 4 years to find out if find out if I'm right or wrong. But why I'm saying it that way is I think that I think FIFA will do something where they will dramatically change the World Cup for the next World Cup. I know people don't want to probably hear that, but I think they're going to dramatically change it. I think you're going to see an effort to bring in, you're going to hear it right, 64 teams into a World Cup. And I think they'll by bringing in that many teams, obviously Italy, if you can't make the top 64, then just stop playing football, man. Just go back to basics and figure it out, because that would be an absolute travesty if you can't make
that's
64 teams.
I think Nalante wasn't happy with that, and hence why now look, this World Cup had 101 games, I think, in that, and it was done over 3 countries. So sort of, I think America could have done it on its own anyway. That's what I can believe. Yeah. There's enough good stadiums there.
I think he could have, but I thought that, like, I don't think that Mexico would have ever seen another World Cup on its own.
On its own now.
And I don't think Canada would ever see a World Cup on its own. So I think that, for them to, in essence, look at the Americans being charitable. For them to be able to
invite their neighbors to come and play.
Yeah, invite their neighbors over to play. Hey, that's being a true American, in my opinion. But yeah,
I think the World Cup was sound. I think it went well. Not a big fan of like the shows and stuff like that, but I'm not a big fan of the music in the water breaks. I'm like,
I missed the halftime show.
It was crap, the music. Watch that, yeah. Well, I didn't put the sound on. I put it on for Justin Bieber, just to laugh at it a bit. Like, cause I was on Brian's channel yesterday when it was happening, and he was laughing at it, and I was. But then I turned the volume down after Bieber. I was going to call him Timberlake. They're all the same to me. Same one, that fella, and he had an acoustic guitar, and it sounded terrible, sounded tragic. An abomination on every conceivable level.
I watched the first half at my ex-girlfriend's, and then I left early so that I could watch the second half. She doesn't watch the show, so I can say it openly. I watched the second half on a very big, like movie theater style television screen, right, with like lots of other people, and then it went by going into extra time. I wanted to do a show, but it was so late that I couldn't do a show, so that's why I was kind of disappointed about that. But I agree with you. I think I thought it was a very, I know that I've only heard one person, Rasta Crab, shout out to Rasta Crab, of course, say that he thought it was the worst. He said it was one of the bottom 3 World Cups of all time, or something along those lines. He can always he can properly back up his own opinion about that himself. I don't think that at all. I think it was one of the best World Cups I've seen. The final.
Lionel Blair a nice man as well as a good dancer, Norm? I liked Lionel Blair on Give Us a Clue. Remember that? Give Us a Clue. where they had to do a charades. Like he was good on that, Lionel Blair.
I don't
Madonna.
know. Yeah, I don't know that show, but all this.
Oh, you wouldn't be an American. It was a show from. Normal, remember it. Give us a clue. Maybe JK.
Yeah, I remember Lionel Blair.
Yeah. He's a dancer, like Len Goodman type bloke. Funny, like.
He was a smart sort of guy. Yeah.
I know the show. Would I lie to you? I think it's called, or something like that. What's the name?
Is that a song? Calling Me Bad.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. No, that's another song.
That's a good tune, actually.
That is a good tune, by the way.
Yeah, I remember that player, Norman, the one Milan brought.
Would I lie to you? It's a television show in England, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, but I like to you. Yeah, that's good. That's like a similar thing to what Give Us a Clue was, but Give Us a Clue,
okay.
You used to stand up, get out, and go in the like center of the stage thing and do like a mime or whatever, and all different stuff. But anyway, yeah.
Wild hand. Yeah, Lionel Blair. It's true, Red Armchair, about that surgery. It don't make you look younger. It just makes you look like you've had something done to your face. It's as simple as that. You know, the face arrives 2 days before them.
Weird. So often these days, I've seen her where she looks dead severe. Like Nosferatu or something. Count Orlok, that new Nosferatu film. So it's like Dallas with mad hair, and a vampire look. Just like
I was just trying to say though earlier about I know some people were on the fence, or I think the majority of people did enjoy the World Cup. I know the overall opinion here in my country was thumbs up. Everyone loved the World Cup, and that's fantastic for a sport that isn't the most watched sport of all the sports. Okay. But there was a lot of people that were very, very, interested or engaged with it, and they were happy, and they were there's a guy that I see in the office, and he said to himself, he's like, oh, he's talking to his sister, and they were both saying how it's sad to see the World Cup go, like as in it's something that they look forward to every day. And I was like, that's fantastic to hear from anyone in any country. But again, I think Italy will make the World Cup. I think that coming up, the next World Cup, and that's not bold, but again, with or without Pep, if they move to 64, I'd be interested. I'm very interested. I think that what we might see is you might see the elimination of groups, and I think that would be incredibly interesting. In the sense of there wouldn't be four games in a group. You would see basically a top seed, like a number 1 seed, and then you'd have a number 16 seed, right? And then you'd play number 1 versus number 16, and you'd play a number 2 versus number 15, and number 3 versus number 14, blah, 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 blah. And then they would eventually be bracketed down. So it would be a single elimination.
Like and you would have,
yes, very, very, very similar. Very kind of similar to that. But they have a league. But they have a league in Champions League. There wouldn't be a league stage. It would just be single elimination. Be like single elimination. Because there's, by having 64 teams, that's a lot of games.
It's a lot of games.
So but in that sense, if you're going to try to do a league, but if you did a single elimination, you would have, the 1 to 16, and then it would be 8 teams, and then it would be 4 teams, and then eventually you'd get to a Final Four, and then you'd get to a championship game. I don't know. That's what I envision possibly happening. I know people aren't going to want to see that or hear that possibly, but I'm just thinking that might be my Nostradamus pick or assumption as to what the World Cup will end up having. We saw a lot of different things happen in this World Cup that people were some happy about, some not so happy about. You just talked about the halftime show. Not many people are happy about that. Water breaks have been a part of football for a while now, because depending on what region you're playing the games in. But commercials now be a part of world water breaks.
But do you want to hear Britney Spears hit me baby one more time halfway through a half? No, you bloody don't. You know what I mean, bro?
Didn't it go on for 25 minutes?
What I was hearing. Oh.
Yeah, it added 10 minutes to because half time's traditionally been 15 minutes, and it was 25, wasn't it, when all the crap was out there? They extended it just for the sake of Bieber, or who was the other one? The K-pop fellas was on it as well.
They were terrible, weren't they? Oh, they were terrible. Like, can they sing? Like,
mate, they was only on it because of money, weren't they? Like, that's why they had to have an half an hour break nearly for them.
Yeah, like, for me, I don't mind that. You know why? It's a World Cup final, bro. It happens like once every 4 years. They've had 100 and odd games before that game yesterday. So for me, no problem with that.
Oh, BTS. But
get some decent artists, you know what I mean?
I mean, what? Okay, I get what you're saying. But you saying that about BTS, you've just now insulted half of Korea. I'm saying half because South Korea is half of Korea. There's North Korea too, but all of South Korea, I think, for the most part, love BTS.
Yeah, I never really heard of them, to tell you the truth.
Oh, they are. I mean, they're like the
Backstreet Boys of there.
Yeah. Because I'm not gonna say Jackson 5. I would say the Backstreet Boys of
that sort of music. Yeah, Jackson 5 are next level.
Yeah,
but for
Madonna,
me,
different story.
I'm
Madonna,
like
I don't know why Madonna was a part of it, but I guess Madonna, because she's got like ties to England. I guess I don't know, with the Guy Ritchie marriage. I have no idea why Madonna was there. Shakira, I understand.
No, they're stars, bro. You got to understand America. When you think of America, you think of Michael Jackson, Madonna, Elvis Presley. So if there's a chance to bring them to the main stage of a World Cup final in America, you're going to bring Madonna and what's that lad's name? The Ghanaian lad, KSI. No, what's his name?
KSI, Speed. Yeah.
Like, he was there doing a little thing.
Yeah.
But he's cool. Actually, he's grown on me, that guy, because for me, he's a sort of fun guy. He just wants everyone to love him, you know what I mean? And the way I like the way he sort of hugs people and meets people. He's very respectful in that way. He's like, yo, Dave Chappelle and him met up yesterday, and he was like, Dave Chappelle, man. We're both Ohio boys. Ohio?
Yeah. I mean, like, they hit I think if you look at the halftime show, we're gonna get back to talking football. Don't worry, people. But if you do look at the halftime show, they had BTS, which is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, artists in Asia. Okay. Wow. You have, again, Madonna, I have no idea why she was there, but you have Justin Bieber, possibly one of the biggest stars of, he's Canadian and American, technically. And then you have Shakira, who represents South America. You had Burna Boy. Burna Boy is Nigerian, so he's representing Africa. And then you had Coldplay, which is the UK. So I mean, like, you had a little bit of like everything. Yeah. I think they tried to get. I think that's the reason why they didn't. Normally at a halftime show, they don't really have that many performers. They might have one or two, but normally they try to keep it to one or something. But I don't know. That's just me. It is what it is. All right, let's get back to football.
Yeah, but just before you carry on, bro, it's like football now is the runway where the top models walk on. Remember, like New York,
I agree
Paris.
Completely.
That's what football's become now. It's like boys like us, football people, will never get a chance to go to a game where these. I'm just saying these girls, but majority of women who are not really into football think, you know what, I'm gonna get fucking photos taken of me. I'm gonna get famous. Let's fucking go.
I think you hit the nail on the head when you said that there was the when I was watching the game, the amount of celebrities that they showed in the audience, that weren't even watching the game. They were just on their phones or talking, and interacting.
Like armchair, I spied Matt Damon because I wasn't sure. I was like, "Is that Matt Damon?" But
his wife is. I think his wife is Argentinian, by the way.
Ah, well, there you go. Then that's where a bit of interest could come in. Saw Jay-Z and Beyonce. Who else? Quite a few there, like, weren't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think she's like not only like she's not only Argentinian, she was like born in Argentina. So like she's definitely Argentinian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Pharrell Williams, Pharrell Williams is Abdul. Yeah.
I love Pharrell.
Pharrell, for me, probably the best producer. Like,
call you for real because you're the truth.
Yeah, I forgot about Pharrell. Yeah, I've seen him as well. There was more than that, mate. There's some I forgot. I'm just trying to like summon them forth back into my mind from memory. It's only yesterday.
Dave Chappelle being there, that I couldn't believe it. Oh, Dave Chappelle at the World Cup final. Fair play.
I mean, if you got that kind of money, go check it out. I'm glad to see that.
He's New Yorker anyway. No, he's from Hawaii. Yeah. I think he lives around New York or something.
No, he lives in Ohio.
Yeah?
Yeah, he lives in the sticks.
I'm sure he said he lived just outside New York. I watched something where he's talking about he lived there.
No, he lives in Ohio.
Oh, wow.
Ohio, which is about as Midwest, about as middle of the country.
Cowboy Indians there, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He lives in a place where he stands out. How about that?
He's like, what you folk doing around here? That type of talk.
Yeah. Well, let me talk about this. Let's talk about someone that's going to stand out, and that is. Go ahead.
I want to just say one more thing before we go. It's exactly what Abdul wrote there. Celebrities went for free, and this is what I say about famous people. They're so cheap, like they want everything for free. It's like perfumes, bags, clothes. They want the whole fucking lot for free, and they'll do anything for that.
It's wrong, isn't it? When you've got loads of money expecting stuff for niche, and like everyone else has to pay.
I get it. I get what you're saying. It sounds bad, but at the same time,
it is what it is. It's the perks of the game, isn't it?
If I don't know. Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, I know him. Yeah, I've seen one good film with him in it, and that fella from The American Officers, his dad, Steve Carell. It's a good film.
He's got a
Beautiful Boy. It's called like the John Lennon song, but his Beautiful Boy Chalamet gets on drugs, and he's on drugs, and he's the dad trying to cope.
Timothy Chalamet, or he played Bob Dylan actually in a movie. Just recently, but all the same,
movies. But he's a bad actor, mate. He's actor, Bob Dylan.
No, he's
the music people who go into like film.
He plays in one. I liked. He's playing in the movie. I like Dune, the movie Dune. He plays the lead character in Dune too. The only reason I'm bringing them up is that because you can say what you want, but like these people, these celebrities, they have followings, and the same way and reasons that you say different things, them taking a stupid Instagram picture and putting it on their post will maybe them at the World Cup will like introduce the game to millions upon millions of people that might not have ever watched football. But the reason why now that they are even going to partake in looking at it is because their idol or their role model or their hero likes that. You know what I mean? It's I don't know. I'm saying I know unfortunately we have a world of followers, but all the same.
Hey, the game itself wasn't much of a spectacle, was it? Like, for the World Cup final. But I wouldn't mind the penalty shootout, actually. That would have added to the enjoyment, probably, if we'd have got a penalty shootout to end it with. But, you don't always get what you want. And we had an extra time goal instead from Torres, which was a good enough finish, good enough move. either of them could have won it, really, like, couldn't they? And
No,
I knew the
no,
Argentinians would take them all the way, like, but I did
no.
think maybe Spain would do
I
it. There
disagree
was
completely.
points in the game, though, where I thought Argentina might do it. I thought, like, later in the game when it was still level, 0-0, I thought, yeah, Argentina might nick it later on, but it never happened for them. The sending off killed them. And so the dickhead, like, because he was on a yellow, like, he went in. I mean, I felt sorry for him a little bit, like, but like, he shouldn't have went in, mate. He was on a yellow, like, it's entirely his own fault. And that finished it,
He
didn't
didn't really need to do that second challenge for me. And that's why certain players, for me, it's like, what's his name? Lad at Real Madrid. Not Tukumeni, Camavinga. Camavinga, a lot of people want him, but he's the type of guy who would do the same as Enzo. I promise you that. He's done it. I've seen a game when I was thinking about him. Where's he going to be? This, that, and that. He got the yellow card early on. Second half, early on, bang, second yellow, ciao. Nah. You can't
Spain
have
went
them
about their business quite quietly because they didn't look tremendous in the group stages. And I think probably the win over France was the standout game because the way they handled France, like, and they handled them not easily, but like fairly easily. Like, they had a plan, and France just couldn't really do much. Like, in that, like, the second goal killed it off Porro's goal. But that was the standout performance for me, what they done to France in the semi, Spain. But the way they winners because of this. They beat France, they beat Argentina, they beat...
one goal conceded.
You know what I mean? They done it the hard way.
They did it the hard way, and they did it good. Fair play. Fair play.
I was going to say that, look, I don't think that why I said I disagree that either team could have won it. Argentina, I think there was like the announcer said it was like the 117th minute of the game was their first shot on goal. Like, as in, you're not going to win a game if you have 0 shots in regular time. The
you got it wrong, the manager. You got it wrong.
Chances of you winning are very, very low. You look at all the stats, and for every stat in this game, Spain undeniably controlled that game. And I would go as far as to say, when it comes to Spain versus Argentina, the unfortunate thing about it is they had to play after England-France, considering England-France was a goal fest,
Yeah, but I don't think that would have been a goal fest the day after. I think
that was crazy because, like, France pissed off they went out in the first place. Us probably less, like, aghast that we went out because we're not as good as France. But, like, yeah, it was a crazy game. 10 goals. Who'd have thunk it? Like, 10 goals, 6-4 to England. It was a mad one. But, compared to that. But Spain, it's hard to score a goal against them. They dominate possession, don't they? Really, I think they had 65-35 on Argentina yesterday.
I think, all due respect to England, I think it was just a case of Argentina finally came up against a team that wasn't intimidated by them, wasn't going to be, let the circumstance or like the shine of the event get overwhelming, and and it was a time and place where they were able to do something. It's again why I think what would be very interesting is they say you just ask for the shootout. You're looking forward to a shootout. Why I'm saying it'd be very interesting is if they were to go to that earlier suggested round of 64, you realize that every game would have a shootout. There would be no draws in any of the games. Because in a single elimination, you have to have a winner. So you'd have eliminations happening all the time. And it would make a team like Spain, who I think were fortunate to be in the final. Because just like you said, I think Spain kind of did not show their best football until they got into the latter stages of the tournament,
It's a good
And
way to win it, though, like for people to look at you and go, nah, this ain't much, this team. And then by the time you get to the final, you have to concede, yeah, this is the business, this team. In terms of like being able to win it, yeah, because they were the eventual winners, yeah. And he did do it the hard way in the last 2 games, beating France and Argentina. Who was it in the quarters for Spain? I forgot. Portugal, was it? Yeah, well, that weren't easy as well to beat Portugal, like.
yeah.
They are worthy winners, aren't they? Like, I doff my cap to the Spanish and salute your win, senors. And what's ladies in Spanish? I don't know. Only know senors.
Oh yeah, senoritas.
Senoritas, senors and senoritas. Well done, well done, well done.
There you go. I mean, look, I think the first real major squad that Spain had to really take on and knock out was, just as you said, Portugal, and they won that. They won that 1-0. So it's not like, you know. Again, it's a case where I think Spain. It would have been interesting because you know why? Because in the scenario that I just mentioned with the tournament of '64, Spain would have had to go to a penalty shootout against Cabo Verde, and you know how incredible that would be if Cabo Verde were to be able to knock out Spain in the first round of the World Cup. Technically, because there would be multiple rounds, but all the same, in their first game, to lose to maybe Cabo Verde in a penalty shootout, and all of a sudden Spain's going home. I think that'd be interesting. All the same, I'm sure. I don't think many people are going to want me back at the FIFA headquarters. Oh man. Anyhow. I think JK had to bounce. He didn't tell us what was up. Maybe something came up. Capo Verde. Oh, Cape Verde. Plays Spain. It's 9-0. He says AR. Well, Spain played Cabo Verde. That's what I'm saying. And Cabo Verde got a 0-0. A 0-0 draw against Spain. That was big news. That was very big news. And then they played. These are the teams that Spain played to get to the World Cup final. And then we're going to move on to Liverpool news. Spain played Cabo Verde, got a 0-0 draw. They played Saudi Arabia, won 4-0. That was their biggest win. They played Uruguay, got a 1-0 win against Uruguay. Then they moved on to the round of 32, played Austria, got a big 3-0 win in that, which was but I don't think anyone thought Austria was winning that one. And then they played Portugal, got a 1-0 win against Portugal. And then the biggest, then they played France. Obviously, and that was like probably the biggest test that they had was playing against France. And I'll admit they played France well. By then, they already had enough momentum going for them, I think.
Well, it'll be interesting to see Pep up against Klopp in the international arena. Italy against Germany, maybe a friendly with the two as Italy and Germany managers. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Klopp's going to win, isn't he? Because Germany are better than Italy at the moment. Like, Italy at the moment is as weak as they've been in a very long time. So I'd bank on Jürgen to win that one myself.
They're not named it. That's yeah, I don't know what Austria's nickname is. Australia's nickname is the Socceroos, yeah, but I know that
Can I ask Kyle, do Germans not get on with Austrians? Is there a bit of tension between Germans and Austrians? I've never been there, but in a book I read, Travels Around Europe by Bill Bryson, who's a good writer, quite funny. And he was saying that like some Germans don't like some Austrians or the other way around. I'm not quite sure.
I don't know. I would think that they would get along well since they have a very unique.
Yeah, but neighbours, isn't it? It's the old neighbours thing, which is often a bad one, like in parts of the world, like when two countries are neighbours. Like us and the Scots a little bit, or us and the Irish, who are our neighbours.
Got you. All right. Well, I want to talk about João Gomez. Apparently, we are out of the race for João Gomez. Villa will reportedly be paying $38 million, including $4 million in potential add-ons for João Gomez. Maybe we're sticking to the assumption that Ryan Gravenberch can play our number 6, and that's just the way we're going to go. But João Gomez certainly would have provided some help. I know that there are other alternatives out there that are still on the table. Adam Morton's still on the table. Manu Koné is still on the table. I know that their names at least being discussed, not necessarily ruled out completely. But it is a question of, like, do you think that Liverpool missed an opportunity here, Lee? 38 million. Or was that too much for a midfielder who, is on who wouldn't, I don't think you would say he automatically qualifies to be a starter on this team.
Are we talking about Curtis?
No, João Gomez.
Oh, how much did he cost?
Did you say Kirkes?
No.
Okay.
Curtis. I thought you were talking about a midfielder for 20 million or 22 million, and I was thinking
no.
That's a Browns what Inter offered us.
João Gomez is joining Aston Villa for £38 million.
And he's the Wolves fella, and he's going to Villa.
Right, Brazilian going to.
Have we missed a trick? I'm not sure about that. No, probably not. No, we'll find someone else. What I'm doing is trusting and having faith in Hughes that during this summer he will finally locate sort of thing, the right players and sign them for us in all the positions that we need. We're just going to have to wait a little bit for things to get done. But I don't think we've necessarily missed out on João Gomez. No, I wouldn't sweat that one in that sense.
Okay. I mean, I know that we have joined the race. There's the competitive race for Manu Koné. We're reportedly interested in the Roma midfielder. He played a very, very important role for France to reach the semifinals. I thought that he played well. I don't know if he played. He wasn't necessarily a standout player for me in this World Cup. But obviously he's good at he's athletic, he's good at ball carrying, he's got a physical presence out there. We've already got Alexi, we got Gravenberch, we've got Dom, we've got Curtis, we got Endo, we've got Bashetic for now, we got Trey Nyoni. But obviously we need to get squad depth. We know that Curtis Jones continues to face questions about his future. We know that Harvey Elliott could also depart, or he might be able to, or maybe he's going to use this preseason as a way to, jettison himself into a very good team, other than Liverpool, obviously. And Endo, albeit, is entering the latter stages of his career and also the end of his contract here. So this would probably be the last year for him. And Bashetic is still recovering from another hamstring problem, it looks like. But would Manu Koné give Liverpool something different if the club signed him. I know Norm is very big on this player. He's been talking about him probably even before a lot of people started, drumming up the calling card for this player. But if the club signed him, which current midfielder would he be replacing? Because chances are we would have to make room on this roster for him. We're not going to go in with all the names I just said. One of them will have to most likely leave. And who's the most likely to do so? Lee, you can answer if you can answer that, Lee, because JK's on mute.
Refresh my memory of the question.
Okay.
I was typing that thing about what I was reading.
Okay. Would Manu Koné give Liverpool something genuinely different? And if the club signed him, which current midfielder would be most likely to leave?
I would say none. Hopefully that we sign him and the others stay. We sign him and the others stay, and he just gives us more options, which is what we need. We need more options. We don't need midfielders to be leaving. But if one does leave, then who's most likely? Endo maybe. Go for Endo.
Oh wow, that hurts.
Yeah, I'll go with that as well.
I'm gonna say we keep Mac because Mac's got something to prove, and I'm up for seeing can he prove that he's the old Mac and still a good Mac, and do a Mac attack for us next season and be back with his Mac attack. Gravenberch just got to step it up, but hopefully someone beside him who wins the ball as a speciality and as a dyed-in-the-wool defensive midfielder. That'll sort everyone out and let them do their things, what they're good at, and he can do that. You know what I mean? We need that to get the best out of it, I think, to have, someone who bosses it in DM, and that is what they're good at.
I'll ask you this too. Does the Emily Heskey came out recently urging Liverpool to sign Adam Wharton? He said the Crystal Palace player is a special player. Liverpool need high quality competition throughout the midfield. We all know that. But is Adam Wharton the player that you basically spend a good chunk of your war chest on to get this midfield re-engaged and revigorated?
I wouldn't mind 2 signings in midfield. I'd like 2 midfielders if possible. That would mean someone going, probably mean Endo going and maybe Jones. Don't know. I'm not saying I want Jones to go, but maybe it would be the more likely than Gravenberch or McAllister.
I think that realistic. I know people often say, "Oh, you're being sentimental and everything else," and that's just sometimes when you're dealing with conversations like that, that's just people not really willing to really engage in the debate, or even acknowledge that some of what you're saying about the loyalty and the loyalties that we show some of these players is warranted, but when it comes to this club, just like you said, I agree with what you just said. And I think it's what we did last season too much of. And that is we brought in some big names, but we sold a lot of players, possibly too many players. And when the injury bugs hit our team, it showed immensely when it came to the quality and depth that we had in our team left from, basically cashing in on a lot of those players that were now gone. As in we're talking about players that could have helped our team. They're now no longer a part of our team. It is something. And I think that you were just talking about midfield players. There was a rumor that this midfield player was a player on the out, or a player that we might be getting rid of, which I was very disappointed to hear because he hadn't really found a route to his starting for us. But one young midfielder I'm talking about is Trey Nyoni. And I think Liverpool have confirmed that Alejandro Roslin they've confirmed him as the new goalkeeping coach. I don't know if you heard about that or not. The first team goalkeeping coach is now going to be a new guy. And before you even talk about Trey Nyoni, do you realize that that's our third goalkeeping coach in 3 years? Did you know that? Either of you? Did either of you know that?
Yeah. The new guy I heard about him today as well. Is he Dutch or something? Or what is he?
I don't think he's Dutch because his name is
Guzans or something like that.
No, his name is Alejandro. His name's Alejandro. I don't think his name is. I mean, that's not a very Dutch name, but you never. Who knows?
I thought his name was with G. Okay.
I'll double check for you.
Lugon.
Well, Xhaka looks in good shape in the. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Xhaka looks in good shape in the. Were you going to speak then?
No, go ahead.
Xhaka looks in good shape in these training videos that we've seen with Iraola. Like, obviously, like not everyone's there at the moment, but he looks good and in good nick, and that's heartening for the season coming. Leone isn't ready to start, is he? Just we've got to wait a bit on him. But Xhaka looks in good nick, like, and hopefully that'll be. He said, didn't he, Iraola? He said he's a player I've been aware of for a while, you know, like before I even come here. So this is good.
I need to look up the coach that you guys are talking about, because Alejandro is the first team goalkeeping coach for Liverpool.
Never heard of him. He used to be what's his name?
He used to be with Napoli.
The last one I remember was the Brazilian fella who come with Alisson, because of the train with Alisson. I think Alisson had a lot to do with it. Was it Tafarel, the goalie who comes in on field a few years ago? Under Klopp.
Yeah, I don't know who who you're talking about with the Gujan guy. I'm trying to look him up to see who you're talking about. Because our last goalkeeper and coach was his name was it'll come to me in a second. Valero, I believe his last name was, or something like that.
Yeah, the last time I took any notice, it was Tafarel.
Yeah. Hi to Julio and Lee Whiskey as well. How you cool guys, man?
Don't see this training. How many days is it until our first friendly now? Is it only like 4 days or something?
He played for
is it the 24th they're playing or something? They're playing in the US, aren't they?
Yeah, the games are coming up very soon, like in a couple of days.
Saturday, 11 p.m. Nice one, Lee Whiskey.
Yeah,
that's what I like about our chat. If we got a question or whatever, the chat always answers it. It's like
they're in it.
I like that.
They're part of the show too, so that's why
So Saturday. Wow, okay, that's pretty quick then.
Yeah, because I'm still trying to get a ticket to go to the Chicago game.
Yeah, that's his name.
Game, the last game of the preseason. That's August 2nd. I know for a fact it's August 2nd. So, considering today is July 20th, or for some July 20th, some 21st, but still, August 2nd is the last game. That's less than 2 weeks away from now. So that's like.
And the season starts 23rd, is it? Something like that. Yeah, Newcastle, 23rd, I think. Yeah, Rosalind is his name. 12. Alessandro Rosalind. Maybe Spanish then.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Dutch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, no, Alejandro. Alejandro.
Yeah, Rosalind, it just sounded Dutch to me.
It's the J in Spanish, because he's Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
The J in Spanish is pronounced like an H, so Alejandro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Rosalind. Yeah, Rosa, red. Yeah. That's a sign.
Yeah. Yeah, he's coached with a bunch of teams. I know he's coached with a bunch of different teams.
Napoli. No. Serie A, 2 Serie A
Napoli. Yeah,
okay.
Napoli. I mentioned it. No, that was one of the teams I did see that he had coached with. But he's a big time. He has a relationship though with Iraola, so I'm excited to see the relationship that he built with, obviously with our I'm excited to see what kind of relationship he builds with not only with Ali, but I'm very intrigued to see if this goalkeeping coach can really connect with our backup goalkeeper, because I don't think he had that great of a year. He didn't really make it that big of a splash that I would like to have seen him do.
Well, for me, it's a big season for Mamardashvili because if I'm playing goalkeeper, I've played it a few times, you know what I mean? My personality is going to be big. Why? Because you want to intimidate their strikers not to score. So you're going to act on your toes, and Mamardashvili don't give me that vibe. They like to play that sweeper keeper role, what a lot of players do. So he has to learn quick now. He's been connected to the club for a few years now, you know, and I'm not really sort of satisfied with his sort of progression. He had a lot of games last season because of Alisson's injuries. So for me, Mamardashvili needs to step up big time. He's a good stopper. I've seen him pull off a few good, decent saves. Don't get me wrong, but football's more than that now. You know, football's more than that now. You got to be wild with your feet, your distribution. Alisson's got 1 goal and 3 assists for Liverpool, bro.
There you go.
I seen it the other day, just about him. 1 goal, 3 assists. Come on, bro. That's top level goalkeeping. And if you can't learn from that, Mamardashvili, God knows what you're listening to when anyone talks to you. Because straight away, I'd walk in tomorrow and say, "Listen, lad, you play on the edge of your box. You know, I don't want to see you being on the goal line. Forget that. Give the centre backs and the left back and right back a bit of confidence that you're always available. You know, I've never seen that from him. You know, so we spent a bit of money on him as well.
Yeah, we did. That's why it's going to be difficult to recoup that if we're looking on moving on, because we spent a lot of money on him, and we are looking at other goalkeepers. You know what I was gonna one of the things I was gonna bring up is a former Red, no longer a Red, but he is a former Red, is apparently a Newcastle target. And it's interesting to hear it because I think he actually would fit in nicely for this team.
Not Darwin, is it?
No, not Darwin.
Yeah, I hope
not. Nico Williams. Okay. Newcastle United are reportedly attempting to sign former Liverpool fullback Nico Williams from Nottingham Forest.
Sorry. No, he's done well, bro. I watched him quite a lot. He's done well.
He has done well for us, like, so.
What do you look at that Williams? The Williams lad from Spain yesterday who came on. I think when he came on, he sort of evened the pitch out for Spain and helped.
The
other lad on the other wing, Yamal.
There was that moment where he did that blister and run, and then he just bungled his control, and it just went out. That was
bro. When he skinned the guy he skinned him, like, bro. He took him to the cleaners. I was thinking, Then he did this little 2-touch thing. What he only meant to do the first touch, and what happened? His second touch came as well, and he went bang bang. And I was like, wow. But the way he skinned him, I was thinking, look, 24, 24. He was part of the Euros winning team. He didn't really play that much in this World Cup.
He was because he was injured coming into the World Cup.
Oh, okay. He's a good little player.
Quite settled in it, like I think it's been quite settled for a while at Spain team, and that's what he went with.
Look, bro, I'd go for him and the Brazilian lad from Bournemouth. If Barcola's waiting around, I heard the Barcola fee was about 60 million. Mm-hmm. This is what I'm saying, bro. Everyone's coming out with this information. I'm just repeating what I've heard and seen. You know, it's not God's word. What I'm saying, but. Nico Williams from Spain. Yeah, man. I think he's a good little player with the right coach. Spanish as well. Our manager, mad that his country just won the World Cup. That'll give him a boost. A bit of
the thing with the fullback Nico Williams is none of us wanted him to go, but we got a good price for him and went ahead and sold him. But I know none of our fans wanted him to go, did they? Like at the start. Because he'd done well when he come in as a young lad. He's done okay. But he someone else wanted him if we weren't going to have him as first choice.
What is 100 million euros in pounds?
About 87, 86, something like that.
Would you pay 86 million pounds for Nico Williams?
Right now, I'll tell you the truth, I probably would. It's 20 million too much for me. You know what I mean? 60 million, 65, 70 million, yes, around there. Because he's not really smashed it, you know? He's a good player. But as I was saying today on Fozzy, we need
telling you that players. The reason why I'm saying that is because do you realize Nico? Now, I'm not calling you out. I know that you just have an interest and a like for the player, but and he's a player that I remember bringing up before. He's got a 10-year contract with Athletic Club
Bilbao, yeah,
and his contract doesn't run out to 2035, and not only that, he makes, I think, like 18 million or 17 million, 18 or 17 million euros a year. And which is a high salary.
It's about 300 a week, yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, the reason why I asked you would you spend 87 million is because his release clause is 100 million euros. And let me look up Nico Williams' stats from last season, because I know that you know why I know some of this stuff is because K-Mac brought Nico Williams up, and I remember he was like really talking him up about going for Nico Williams. And I was like, Nico Williams is on a 10-year contract. He makes some ridiculous for what he brings, for stats he brings. His salary does not correlate to what he brings. Let me show. Last season, he had 6 goals, 3 assists in La Liga. The year before that, he had 5 goals, 5 assists. The year before that, he had a decent year. He had 5 goals and 11 assists.
Okay. So, but in a better team, would definitely improve, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that too. I agree with that.
Yesterday, the Argentinian guy pushed him and he handed it back to the next guy. It was too funny, bro. It was comedy, that was.
Order 66, yeah.
Exactly, Lewis. France are a squad of superstars. Spain are a squad of footballers. Knocked the nail on the head there. It's all about that. I don't really need superstars. I need workers and guys who are with the program, you know, team players.
Yeah, I have to say again, salute Spain. They weren't like mega exciting, but they got the job done, and that's all that matters at the end of the day is who won it. people forget very quickly, like, you know, if it was a crap final. The fact is, the world champions. And the way they saw France in the semi was the standout game for me. That, like, confirmed their sauce. Their sauce is more than the French, more Spanish sauce. And, yeah, it's a good one. So, yeah, congratulations to Spain, to senors and senoritas everywhere. Get down and party. I've seen Penelope Cruz in the crowd. That's the only Spanish celebrity I really know. But there is, like, obviously the South Americans that speak Spanish. I don't know if they get in on the Spanish vibe. Probably not, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think South Americans will, because Brazilians were on Spain's side yesterday. They had to be, because I've seen a few watch-alongs where Brazil, when England played Argentina, they were proper England fans that day. There was like, it was proper.
Oh, yeah, the rivalry between Brazil and Argentina.
Yeah, Brazil and Argentina is the rivalry between the two countries is intense.
It's big. England and Germany used to be like that.
But again, I was going to bring up what Dante in the chat said, which is something I was thinking too, which is I remember Barcelona did go for him, and he turned down Barcelona. I don't think he wants to leave his region of Spain. I mean, you know how the Bilbao players are, in the sense of, you know, that team primarily, the players that they bring into their club are from that region of Spain, and I just think he doesn't have any interest of leaving. That's just, I don't know. Well, but he is a good player. I'm not saying he's not a good player. I just don't know if he would. I don't know if he would even give it up to come to Liverpool. Barcola. I saw Lee Wiskett just bring up Barcola. You're talking about yeah, and he did. He actually was one of their best players for Spain in the Euros, to tell you the truth. And that's where he got a lot of the interest blossomed from his Euros performance. I think he really definitely did. We obviously had two players participate in different ways in this World Cup final. Muñoz was on the team, but he didn't get to play in the game. McAllister did get to play, but to some opinions, he probably shouldn't have played because he was pretty bad. I think he got one of the worst. He got on one of the ratings. He was rated the worst. He got like 3.5 stars, or 3.5 out of 10 was his rating. He was like that bad. On another one, he wasn't as bad as that. I think like on one of the sports publications, I think it was something like he got 5 out of 10 or something like that. I don't know. But the point is that, you know, apparently his defensive responsibilities were some of his setbacks in that game. He wasn't necessarily holding down the midfield and being able to maintain and control the midfield for Argentina. It meant that McAllister spent much of the time tracking runners and protecting space rather than protecting Messi, which is his primary concern, and progressing forward and creating opportunities.
The way I'm seeing McAllister's World Cup is from the point of view that it was a good pre-season for him, and eventually he'll be added to our pre-season, but that is his pre-season, basically, the World Cup, and I expect him to be right on it, like when he gets back to it in the Premier League. His shooting accuracy is still just a little bit off. He's putting them past just the wrong side of the post, whereas he used to put them just inside the post. He's still up to that. But, like, I'm going to have a bit of faith in him. They're under Iraola. Like, he can do all right. And until we, you know...
I think he's got... Yeah, good.
Until we see what the other options are and how he wants to do it in midfield, Iraola, because it's got to be done with a view to getting the best out of Wirtz. So we need the right two players behind Wirtz, like, to make sure we're protected and, you know, all that other good stuff that comes with being solid defensively. So,
Lee, answer me this, or tell me your opinion on this at least. If a coach gives a player a restrictive defensive assignment, which is what he did for McAllister in this game, it's kind of difficult to criticize the player for not simultaneously becoming the team's primary attacking influence. Like, as in, it's weird sometimes when you deal with conversations, or especially on the internet with some people. It's one of the reasons why I enjoy our chat, because they tend to not be in that fold. But, you know, you do go to conversations on other channels and the likes, and you get into these conversations with people, and they're talking about, this McAllister, for instance, talking about McAllister, he's trash, or he played horrible, or he did this, he did that, and I'm like, he wasn't fantastic. I'm not saying that, but I will say the fact of his role in the game was not to be the offensive like mainstay.
No, it wasn't. He has a certain function in that Argentinian midfield,
Right.
like, and he does it well. Like, he does what the guy wants from him. Like, so it's just good to have him in the World Cup final. Like, you know what I mean? He went all the way. He went to extra time, didn't he, with Argentina? And hopefully he's in good shape when we kick off, and we can get him a return to the Mach that we knew. Have the real Mach back, Mach attack, the real Mach back. Let's have that Mach attack next season.
It's I'm bringing it up primarily because, like, I'm hoping we can get the same as you just said. I'm hoping we can get the most a healthy return to his game with another approach from a new coach. Because I know that if anything, he can defend. I think he can defend, but he is intelligent enough to follow tactical instructions. And he's told to do this and that, yet people are critical of his game because he's not bringing out this and the other things of his game that we've seen him do. Okay. And I think his greatest value is his ability to receive the ball under pressure. I think he's good at holding on to the ball, connecting the midfield with attack, and influencing the game in advanced areas. I think all those things are important parts of his game. But I mean, I think sometimes managers take liberties with players, knowing how smart and how versatile players are. And with McAllister, they understand that he is a very, very gifted or intelligent high football IQ. And I'll ask JK, is McAllister being limited by managers who rely on his tactical intelligence to solve defensive problems rather than building a structure that allows him to attack? Because we've seen him attack when he played our 8 under Jürgen Klopp. He was one of our better players, if not one of our best players in the midfield.
Yeah, look, I don't think he was great in the World Cup. He had a few good games, don't get me wrong, but I think Enzo sort of made him look bad yesterday because he went off the pitch and McAllister was on his own, bro. It was him against Rodri and all them other boys. But for me, McAllister, yeah, I was expecting more from him, like goals and assists wise. He can score goals. Against England, he probably should have scored 2. You know what I mean? So, yeah, McAllister. Look, I heard today, like there's a fee for him to leave. He wants to leave, 80 million or something.
Yeah, I don't think Real Madrid is going to pay that fee.
I don't see that. Never.
Oh, there was something I wanted to bring about Nico Williams, but we've already moved on from Nico Williams. We'll talk about it another time, if it even happens. But Not Nico Williams. Nico. I'm talking about Nico Williams. Our Nico Williams, not the Nico Williams from Spain. But yeah, I'm hoping that we can work something out with McAllister. Real Madrid tend to not spend that kind of money. You know what I mean? And I don't think McAllister has that long left on his contract. I think he's got 2 years left, right? He's done. So this is the 26-27 season. I think Real Madrid would look at him and say, yes, he's a talented player, but yeah, thank you, Dante. He's got 2 years. So like, he's a talented player, but what's the purpose in going and dropping 80 million on him now when they could do what they do for all the players that they get, or not all, but a good number of the players that they get? Just wait to 2028 and get him for free. Shout out to Brian in the chat, by the way. And 2 years, right? Mac ran the second highest most in, or it's the second highest for most running in the World Cup. The Messi factor is real. He needs 2 players doing his running. It does. I agree with that.
Well, Matt was the best performing Liverpool player at the World Cup, if you look at it from that point of view, and that, like, you know, Argentina went all the way to extra time in the final. So he's the best performing player in the World Cup, any Liverpool player.
Look, he is, but I'll go as far as this, and I'd love to hear Brian's opinion on this, and Red Armchair supporters, and hi, Loris, Lee, WizKid,
hi, Brian,
and Dante, and everyone else that's in the chat with us. McAllister's on 150,000 a week. We just signed Dom Spotlight to a 300,000 pound a week contract. I understand the fact that they're different ages. Not by much, but they are different ages. So I think McAllister is 28.
What you reckon on a pass exchange? Send McAllister back to Brighton and take Minter. I'm only joking, by the way. There, pass exchange, Mac back to Brighton for Minter. So we've got a left footer for the right wing.
So Dami Szoboszlai is 25, and McAllister is 27. So there's only 2 years difference between the two, between the 2 players.
Not that old, is he? Max 27, like, it's not old, like, is it? You know what I mean? It's not like, still quite a while away from 30 for Mac, like. I just hope that maybe rather than having to bin him, there can be some sort of like resurrection of the form and influence we've seen from him previously. So like we don't have to get rid of him. But on the other hand, you know, we need signings coming in rather than going the other way out. But if we've got enough targets, then a few might go out. A few midfielders might be on their way out if we've got enough targets to be able to replace them.
Why I'm bringing this up about 25 to 27 difference, and the fact that Dom Szoboszlai just got 300,000 and a lengthy contract extension, 4 or 5 years, something like that is being rumored. There's going to be an extension for him. McAllister's talks of McAllister's extension have fallen silent. I know that his agents were getting very, very frustrated with the way that the talks were going, and if there were any talks at all. I don't even know if there's talks anymore about resigning right now for him. And again, why I'm bringing this up is because to re-sign a McAllister, you would have to get around that 280, 300,000. Are you going to resign McAllister at 280,000, 300,000 pounds a week?
Well, I'll say this: Brighton is a nice place to live. I've never been there, but Nick Cave lives there, and I've seen his thing called 30,000 Days on Earth. Nick Cave living by Brighton, and it looks nice. So we could go back to Brighton, couldn't he? And send Minter the other way. No, I've got me faith in him showing that he deserves to be here and doing better this season. That's what I'll have to do, because there's too many. It's not too many outgoings, but if we're getting rid of a load of players, it's going to cause a little bit of upset, and we're looking for a bit of stability. So try and keep what players we can, not have too much change. I reckon we need about like 4 or 5 players to be comfortable next season, going into next season. And then maybe like a couple could leave, like, well, not many. I don't know how many targets we've got to cover people leaving if we're binning some players. We'll find out soon enough, though, won't we? Like, what Iraola does and doesn't think of players, because we'll see who features and who doesn't. But by that time, the window will probably be shut.
Well, yeah, that's the case. I mean, look, Bouaddi apparently may remain in France. The winger market is beginning to move. We get that, but Liverpool's chances of getting their first choice obviously isn't going to happen, most likely, because there are reports that Yan Diomande has agreed to personal terms with PSG. Fabrizio Romano reports that Yan Diomande has agreed to personal terms with PSG as far back as June. It's just a matter of them working out a fee with the club now. Excuse me. But it remains clear that that Liverpool might have been blocked from bringing Yan Diomande, but the question is, we want to get a winger in this team. I get that. JK wants Nico Williams and Rayan. Others want Barcola. Should we continue to try to fight for this Yan Diomande?
Well, who's playing on the right if we buy Barcola? And we having like Munoz on the right, are we, or something? Because like the other choice would be Frimpong. Who's going to play there?
Nunez can play on the right and left, but most likely the possible starter for us on the right would then be Rio.
Yeah, he's done it for England, Rio. Well, one of them's going to have to do it, but we haven't played that way in a long time with a right footer on the right, and nobody really does these days. Everyone does it like the other foot, don't they? Left footer on the right footer on the left is the way it's done these days. So it'll be interesting to see if we can do it without having a left-footed player. Who knows? I would like one ideally, like for us to replace Mo with another one of those guys, like who's a left footer. But they're far between sometimes. I remember when I was a kid, like some of the best players I ever like played against or knew were left footers. Like they were just like really good.
Well, the thing about that is, I mean, maybe Cody Gakpo plays on the right. Who knows? But the thing about it is that there have been talks about Bradley Barcola. His price has dramatically changed, apparently, because I know that they were looking for 80, 90 million to help, circumvent the purchase of Yan Diomande. But Manchester United have been offered Bradley Barcola. RMC Sport reports that Manchester United have been offered the opportunity to sign Bradley Barcola. And I might have let me do that. Hey JK, can you send Brian the link by any chance?
Yes, I'll do that, bro.
I think the comment that Lee just made, and maybe my comment about Rio being our right wing might have just triggered Brian. But well,
I did say it'd be ideal to have a left footer to replace Mo rather than a right footer. It's the way it's done these days in the main, isn't it? Like there's hardly any teams that don't play that way. It's hard to think of any that do play that way.
I want to see us play that way, to be honest with you. I've mentioned that I would like to see a right footer. I've mentioned the fact of I would like to see, for instance, Virgil van Dijk become a right center half for us. And for obviously, I'm Brian. I think likes Bastoni as much as I do, if not more. But I would like to see, the reason why I'm very big on Bastoni joining the team is because I'd like to see a left-footed left center half, and I'd like to see a right-footed right center half.
It is nice when you can have that, and you don't have that often. We've had it before.
You don't.
I've thought that often about Virgil, because he's comfortable on the right. He's comfortable anyway. And he does it for Holland enough. Plays on the right with Ake or whoever, Ake or Van der Ven to the left of him. So it's not like he doesn't know how to play. He can't move over and still be his normal self.
But Lee, I would also like to see us change up things a little bit by, having a right footer on the right side, because if you have a right footer on the right side, they tend to go out. They tend to go to the byline more than try to cut in, And I think by that, you might have a player that's trying to get around and cross the ball as opposed to cut in and shoot the ball. I want to see us take advantage of the pace and speed and be able to create more opportunities for our strikers. And I just think that if you have a player like that is who's right-footed on the right side and a left footer on the left side, you have players that can go around and can get that cross off as opposed to if you have a left footer on the right side and a right footer on the left side.
Well, I'm trying hard to remember when this started.
It's very difficult for that person to cross the ball. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember when this started, this opposite thing of a front three with a left footer on the right footer on the left. Because obviously years ago we used to have a right footer on the right, left footer on the left.
Jürgen.
Welcome home, Brian. How are you?
Hi, Brian.
Why does it go in light mode?
Night mode?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah, Hello. It's been.
Maybe because we're on the we're in the jet.
I'm in the jet tonight.
On flight mode in the jet, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we can go we can go back to the yacht and maybe they'll change to the light mode. I don't know. That joke is going over his head, I guess. It's going over his head.
No, I was just looking for the dimmer switch, basically. Yeah, no, I didn't know. I just heard you saying I was calling because I was triggered by something. I wasn't triggered by it. I'm not sure what you thought was triggering me, but definitely wasn't triggered by any particular statement. I just wanted to call in and say hello.
Oh, I remember what it was. It was you said about Rio playing the right wing, and you really
that's what we thought. That's what we thought you were triggered by. Because I saw
Brian, we got to have a left-footed guy have we to replace Mo. Is it ideal and can't be messed with that idea, or can we do it with two right footers on the wings?
Oh, the whole right foot. No, look, we just need a replacement for Mo, and that's pretty much it. I mean, again, it's not like even a Mo replacement. It's just like a Diomande replacement we want. I mean, the guy's playing on the right wing. I don't really. Yeah, I mean, it's obvious. Like Iraola was asked about it, even saying, "Look, we're working on it." The managers are saying, "Yeah, look, you can't replace Mo Salah, but we know we need someone to come in." So, yeah, I'm expecting something to happen there, definitely. But no, I just haven't been in ages and stuff. So, I want to say hello and see how everyone's going.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Miss your commentary and the back and forth that we always would have. Glad to see you. And I would also say, I don't know if you agree with what I said before. I think because it might have been right before you joined, but it's something that Red Orange supporter was just, and I were commented on what I had to say, and I would like to see us go back to I would like to see us try to go back to something where we utilize a right footer on the right side, because we're not trying to emphasize our wingers being our primary scorers. I would like to
It
see
can't be
us.
done if it's the right fella, can't it? Like, I reckon, you know, it's not, his left foot's all right. Like, I mean, Mo's right foot was for standing on, wasn't it? Like, his right foot was poo. But that didn't matter because his left was so good. But it'd be interesting, won't it, to see who we do replace him with in that way, whether it will be another left footer. I mean, I'd imagine
For instance, there are talks. I don't know if maybe I don't know if you commented on this on your show or not, Brian, but there was a report that Michael Olise wants to leave Bayern. Unfortunately, it is being reported that he wants to go to Real Madrid.
No, he's going to Madrid. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So you think that's a? Do you think I was going to ask? Do you think we should?
Oh, I come on. Yeah, if he doesn't go this year, yeah, he is the most Madrid signing of all time, basically. Yeah. Yeah, and he's that's it. Yeah, he's like Bellingham. He's like, yeah, he's going to be wearing the white. Someone asked me, is Bellingham? Do you think Olise is going to join Madrid? I said yes, he will, absolutely, 100%. But will he do it this summer? I don't know. But if he doesn't join this year, he'll go next year. 100%. Yeah, he is Madrid, all written all over him. He is pure
him in that new kit there.
Robin used to be like Arjen Robben was like an anomaly 1 years ago in that he was a left footer playing on the right when it wasn't done that way, but now it's the dumb thing. But remember him in the Premier League for Chelsea? Like, he was good though, wasn't he? And Chelsea were good then.
Yeah, I mean, you look at also the prices now that are going for these players. The amount of money that it would take to bring in an Olise would probably be astronomical. But
insane money. Yeah.
But I don't know how many years are left. I'm sure the chat could tell us what. I mean, I'll look it up. Yeah.
I think he's 2028. I'm not sure. Oh, not 2028. 2020. I think he's 3 years left.
2029 is the end of his contract.
3. Yeah.
So they still got a healthy bit of time left on his contract. I don't know if they're not going to be forced into making any deals. We know the stance that Bayern have made on moving Michael Olise when all the reports came out that we were going to try to go for him. Is there a name out there as a winger, or are you comfortable maybe seeing a Cody Gakpo or maybe a Rio as our starting right, or maybe even Munoz as our starting right winger? Are you comfortable with that?
Me?
Yes.
Oh yeah, no. I don't. I think we need an absolute, like, straight up. We were all in on Diomande for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Munoz is a really interesting one because it's like I'm expecting him to be like a Chiesa, but a Chiesa that plays 20 games. As in, he can play off the left, he can play off the right, he can, do, if you need him for certain games here and there. But I wanted to see someone come in and say, oh wow, that's Liverpool's starting right winger there. They have other guys who can fill in, of course they can, but that's your main guy right there. I'd like to see a bit of certainty there. I liked the idea of having two guys who are, that's our left winger and that's our right winger. But they're also versatile. They can also switch. Rio and Munoz in behind. We can see Rio can play off the right, he can play off the left. So you've now basically got four guys. Let's just say Barcola and Minte, right? And Munoz and Rio. You've got four guys who all on any given day can actually play left or right. But you've got two guys who are a guarantee, a kind of predominant left and predominant right. I love that kind of versatility there. But yeah, I'd love to, even in game. Rio's on the right, Diomande's on the left. What are they doing? That kind of, because you saw Diomande for the Ivory Coast play off the left. He plays off the right. I would love that idea. So I like that versatility there. Yeah, it'd be nice to have something like that. Because I don't even know what is the plan with Munoz. Is he a 20-game guy? Is he a, what's he going to do? But I'm really disappointed that we haven't got Diomande because he was supposed to be, we're losing Salah. He's our main guy. That's your number one. Liverpool have gone out, spent 100 million. Look at them, making big moves. And the drop off from him, when you mention anybody to anybody, it's like, oh, what about this guy? Half your chat will just go, oh, he's shit, he's terrible. And then the other half will go, he's brilliant, he's great, we should get him. I mean, everybody you mention have to be, oh, he's shit, he's trash. It's like, geez, man. It's so hard.
There's no like
nobody will agree on anybody.
Yeah, there's a great abundance of options, is there? It's not. So,
some people act like Minte is played in League Two his whole life. He's trash, he's terrible. It's like, come on, man, let's be real.
But would you be the way you make up for that is by making both wings very strong again, like between them, of course. Thing going on in your 4-3-3. And he can be whatever footed he wants as long as he's good enough. Let's just get him in. And then we'll be sorted, like, won't we? We can look at other areas. But that's only one area that we need in, isn't it? Like a wide player.
I think I'm not very bullish on Minta. But I actually personally, for just like, not say, I guess you call it almost a stopgap. I would have been more interested in going for Matoma, who's on his last year with Brighton than Minta, and then figuring out what we're gonna like to not block the pathway of Rio and other players to going in, and maybe even going in for Olise the next year or something like that. But when you're talking about Minta, I know that, like you said, there's some that are bullish and some that are like, more on the bearish side of going for the player. Do you believe that if we were to go and get a Minta, would that be a move to you now? Have Munoz, we have all these different wingers now. Would the acquisition of Minta be like, okay, we move forward and we have a player now that we can build with? Or because I personally thought that talk kind of subsided when Arne Slot left the team, considering his connection to the player.
Big boots to fill, but I'm willing to give it a chance. So we do have that left-footed guy, like, yeah, okay. Why not? Wouldn't say no at this stage to Minta.
JK, are you the same way?
Minte, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm not a fan because at the end of the day, if he can't get even to that Brighton team, how's he going to get into a Liverpool team?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't
him and Elliot Anderson left Newcastle. You would never thought Elliot Anderson's going to go for 100-odd million to Man City and he's going to end up playing in a World Cup for England. We probably thought Minte might do that, but not him. And look what happened, bro. So I wouldn't look at Minte right now. No.
Before Brian answers, go ahead. You want to say something real quick, Lee? Then I'm going to ask Brian.
That reassessed like what was there, like after like Diomande was a no-go, it was like Owen and his Minter, and there's not many others than them I can think of. Left footers for the right wing, so we might have to come to a compromise there and have a right-footed guy on the right wing next season. It could be Rio. He could be given more. It could be given more games and more minutes next season. Could be one of the players that prospers under the Iraola. Be interesting to see anyway what we do, won't it? Like time will reveal all.
Brian, are you
needs game time,
Yeah. Because there's another caveat to this question, but I'll let Brian answer the first question at least. Are you on the same? We have one yes and one no for Minta. Are you a yes or a no as being an answer for this team?
Yeah, well, a lot of time when we speak about Minte, it's like it's instead of just saying a right winger, it's like we like Iraola has come out and said we know we need to replace Mo. We're not working on it in Mo, but we're working on bringing someone in. So I kind of use it almost like that's a shorthand, a Minte, whatever. But then the thing is, when you start saying, someone like a Minte or it's like, okay, name other players. Name other players, because we're speaking about Almala. We're talking about all these guys that are either left wingers that could be forced onto the right. Because now, it's a really shit winger. It is a really bad market. We had a number one priority in Yan Diomande. And it's not like, we were hoping to do something, but if we couldn't get him, no, we're missing a front right tire here, if you know what I mean. It needs to be changed. It's not something we can, this has to be done. So we are looking for a right winger. It's not like we're going to try and blah, blah, blah and do this. The club is looking to bring someone in. So let's look at the market. Let's look at people that could come in. Okay, Diomande was clearly our first choice, and what a first choice that would have been. What a great player, right? He's gone. What's up next? Pardo, 20, 21, never played outside of France. El Mala, he's a left winger. Barcola, for me, we should be trying to bring in both. He's a left winger. I mean, where are what are we talking about? Jacob fucking Murphy? Like, who are the actual out and out right wingers that we can bring in?
Maybe, I know that I think he was injured before the World Cup, but a player that maybe we could revisit, and that was Rodrigo. Maybe he's a right winger.
Yeah, he's that all noise about him is completely exactly. Yeah, I mean, this is what we're talking about. What do we do? Do we either do nothing? And like I said, you try and muddle through, and in a year's time, it will be a complete. There'll be another guy. Like there's people talking about Rayan. Rayan has 6 months in the Premier League. This is how bad this market is. We're trying to figure out what would be a better thing to do, Minte or Rayan for 100 million. It's insane.
That's insane.
None of these guys are worth that kind of money. So it's like, what the fuck do we do? What do we do? Do we stick or do we twist? Bowen, like, come on, we're talking about that. He's signing a new deal at West Ham anyway.
I never said Bowen, never.
Come on. It's maybe. But what, a 20-year-old Rayan with 6 months Premier League? Oh, give him 90 million. Like, that's why I would go with Minte. If you said you can have any of these guys, I would say yes to Minte because he has big Premier League experience. He's still only 21. People talk about Iraola being brilliant and improving young players. I think he's got what they call scalability. He will get better in a Liverpool team. Is he the answer? Is he the one we all wanted? No, but I think if you brought in Yankuba Minte into this team, I don't think he would do a bad job. I don't think he would let us down. Is he the next whatever? I don't know. But then you wait 2 years, maybe do something else. But I think he's very rock solid. He would get better if he joined Liverpool, and Iraola would improve him as a player. And he's a very Iraola type player, a wide winger that will work hard. And he will, he won't be a big name coming to Liverpool. He'd be a great player for us. But we know he wasn't our number one. But it's so thin on the ground, man. It's so fucking. You want to give Bournemouth 120 million for Rayan after 6 months?
They're going to Brazil.
This is the world we live in now. This is the world we live in now.
The only plus side to that is
decent players, 80 million quid.
I have
he
a
got
question
on with Areola, and he became that player in that 6 months. So that little time he spent with the Areola, he became a Premier League regular and a Brazil sort of squad member. You know what I mean? And I think he played a few games in the World Cup as well. So, but just the price for me is a bit mad.
The price is ridiculous. But I would also ask, like. But you could argue that the price for Yan Diomande was pretty ridiculous too. I mean, I get that.
That's mental.
Yan Diomande has shown certainly talent and promise and the likes, but
Any
he's
glimpses?
had 1 year. I know we're talking about 6 months for Ryan, but
He's costing nearly what we sold Coutinho for. He cost you
mental.
nearly what we sold Coutinho for. After 18 months of senior football in Europe, he's going to cost you almost what we sold Coutinho for. It's insane. Completely insane, man.
Because that's what the football world is now. You got little clubs produce a star, and what they've always done it. Let's get how much we can from this guy, because we don't know when the next one's going to come in, and that guy's money that we make off him will pay the wages of everyone for the next 3 years at this club, or 4
Would you
years,
go-
or whatever it is. You know what I mean? And that's all it is. Football. It's become a business model where any player gets hyped up. Why do you reckon all these back in the days in England they used to hype up any talent coming through? Because one, they knew the club that might sell them will get the most money out of that, and that's all that is.
you
It's
just spoke
ridiculous
about
how they hype them up. Hi,
about a
Dara.
wide. You just spoke about hello, Dar. You just spoke about having a wide winger. Maybe if you're not sold on Ryan, if Diomande is out, maybe this is just I'm just going down some of the list of players I can think on top of my head. He doesn't necessarily play on that side for Portugal, but would you be interested in maybe going for a Rafael Leao?
I like him with the right coach.
I mean, like, I think that he could possibly get, considering, AC Milan are very open to making deals. Maybe
for me, it's the perfect timing with him to leave AC Milan. I've watched AC Milan over the years quite a lot, and I've seen with him do those things. Sometimes I'm like, oh, what a player this guy! If he was under Klopp, forget about it. So for me, he'd be an option, but we definitely need two guys coming in on the wings, because we've got Gakpo, Rio, the Spanish lad now, and that's it. And Chiesa, if you want to include him in that. And that's it, really, So for me, two quality wingers. Like if everyone had a choice, Barcola probably be one. If you had the choice, the Brazilian at Bournemouth could be one. Minte. So there's a few options, but the quality wise of them, equivalent to the price, is just mental. Like, come on, man. That's just mad how they price these players.
I'm asking this question though from also a perspective of this. There's I don't want to make sure I don't want to butcher his name. Konstantinos Karatas.
Sounds Greek.
Karatasas. I'm doing terrible.
Do
you know who I'm talking about?
Fuck that up, man.
Yeah, I know. That was bad. I know. I don't want to call him. I don't want to call him KK too. It took me a while to learn.
I thought you were talking about some martial arts there, karate.
No,
What does he play for?
Genk or Genk, right? Genk.
Genk.
Oh, Genk. Okay, Genk.
Belgium team, I think.
He plays for Genk, yeah, but he's apparently
not Conceição.
He's apparently, well, why I'm bringing this up is this. He was a target for us. There was the young German DM that we went for that decided to stay in Germany, end up going to Leverkusen, right? In Eichhorn. And then there was and then just recently, just now, I should say, with this young player, he was a player that apparently we were targeting as another wonder kid that we're going to try to bring in, and now he's decided that he's going to go to another team that is excellent for youth, and that is Borussia Dortmund. But why I'm bringing this up is because
Konstantinos Karstas.
Yes.
Okay, Karstas. Konstantinos Karstas.
Yes.
Okay.
Another Greek scouser.
Yeah.
Valued at 31 million euros. Bloody hell.
Yes, and he was, and now he's apparently going to go to Dortmund.
Okay.
we can point to how we've done well with Rio or Trey Nyoni in the sense of providing a pathway for youth academy players to get a place into the senior squad, but it's kind of stalled out lately in that roadmap to really getting into this youth, going from youth academy to actual, senior player. Are we possibly not doing ourselves any favors by the current practices that we're making with Liverpool, in that we're not really providing, we're not like, do we need to improve the way that we get these players from youth academy to first team opportunities? Because Trey Nyoni was being talked about being sold just recently, just a couple months ago, or a couple weeks ago, actually.
It's a loan that young man needs to get him up to speed.
Alone.
Like championship club, yeah. Maybe in the northwest, so we can keep a close eye on him while he's having a loan to like have his regular.
That sounds fantastic, but Trey Nyoni does not want to go to a championship team. That's the point. Trey Nyoni is one of the young. Trey Nyoni,
I'd be the opposite.
Trey Nyoni is
remember Beckham being on loan before he come into the United side. Can't even remember who it was with, but a few were there, like young players.
Preston.
Come back.
Preston. You went to Preston.
That's right. Preston.
What I'm trying to get at is that Trey Nyoni was. We can segue into what, because I had a piece that was going to be about Trey Nyoni. I like Trey Nyoni as a player. I think that he was hard pressed or hard done last season. A lot of if he'd gotten half the amount of time that Rio got last season, I would have been happy to see him play. I think Trey Nyoni is a talented player and one that should get a look at, but there were rumors last season that Trey Nyoni was getting kind of frustrated over the fact that he wasn't getting time and minutes. The fact that he was, I know I brought it up on a show and I said, Trey Nyoni might be pushing for a move to a team that he can get minutes and playing time. And I got told, Trey Nyoni should be happy that he's a Liverpool Red, much less, wanting to get playing time. Who's he think he is type situation, since he hasn't played any minutes. We're talking about I think the youngest player ever to start in a Liverpool game, I think, is Trey Nyoni.
No, that'd be Jerome Sinclair. I think Jerome Sinclair still holds the record for youngest ever starting. If you're talking about in the league,
no,
I think Jerome Sinclair still holds the.
Not in the league, because he played in the FA. It was because he played in the FA Cup or a League Cup or something like that.
There's a few have come close. For ages, it was Jerome Sinclair for fucking ages, because he was like 15 or something, 16. And then, Raheem came along in this league and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
But, those kind of is it youngest ever kind of thing. I get confused sometimes. Some people say, the youngest in the league and then youngest ever kind of thing.
I don't know about it.
I know Jerome Sinclair would have the record for ages.
Okay. Yeah, I thought he's like, I know Jerome Sinclair is he's 16, right?
Yeah, he had the record for probably 4 or 5 years, man, at least 4 or 5 years. Maybe someone took it after that with a random appearance or something, but no, I'd be slightly up. I think we're doing, like, our academy to me looks really, really good at the moment. We got some class, but I think the thing with Nyoni is, like, it's really hard to get in as a young player in the engine room, like in the 8 and the 6 where he wants to come in. But I think we've made, I know a lot of people are kind of doing it down because we're not doing like first team stuff. We were making excellent fucking additions to the academy squad. And right now we've got Josh Abbey, Sonny Lambe, Kieran Morrison, and Kumas and Will Wright that are going to be away. We've got some really, really top young talent in the academy right now. Some of those guys might get a chance with Iraola's like high intensity, needs a bigger squad, that kind of stuff. You might see more of that, especially Josh Sonny Lambe. Kieran Morrison got real close last year. Huge high hopes for Josh Abbey. He turned down Man City and all that to stay with us. So yeah, that pathway is there. But like that's when it's easier to get into the team in the Rio area, like as a winger, as an attacking, but in the 6, in the 8, in the midfield, it is harder. Yeah, there's talking about Nyoni maybe going along. He's a top player, man. There's a reason he's been on the bench every year. He is a top fucking player, but it is hard to get into that midfield area, I suppose. But we brought in like the 4 or 5 young centre halves with, and Duke, everyone knows Mortal and Die, all these guys that are coming in, and Duke and Michael went alone this year. But I'm really impressed with the talent that we're bringing in. And I know a lot of people get triggered when I say, "Oh, this young guy coming in, he's not going to be good enough to play the next 4 years." Yeah, but we have to bring him in. We have to bring him in. We have to stock up and we're doing really good work there, man. I'm okay with it, and we're going to see a lot of these guys in preseason. Yes. Now, under an earnest slot, you're probably not going to see these guys again because he works with a much smaller squad. He worked with the doctor that's gone now, Ruben Peters, who's left. They worked in periodization. That was a big thing that they worked with, was low-intensity training. Low-intensity training to keep players fit all season. A small squad. Now, there's a million, like I say, there's more than one way to skin a cat. So their intention was you work with a smaller squad, low intensity training, periodization was what they called it. So you can keep a smaller squad fit over a longer period of time. Right? Now that's one way to do it. Iraola does it differently. These guys are going to run their fucking balls off every day of the week. Now that's what we as Liverpool fans want. Like I was saying, I think the Spanish way of doing things works better in the Premier League. Dutch football is fine. It has its place. But as a Liverpool team, you want to see that high intensity Jürgen Klopp meets Bielsa Spanish type football. But that is the opposite of periodization. It's the opposite of low intensity training. So we're going to need more players, younger players, fitter players. So maybe that's going to open up an opportunity a little bit for a Kieran Morrison. Some of these guys that you might see come into this team, young, fit players. I hope so, because we have them there for a reason. Josh Abbey's only just turned 16. Okay, I get it. But they're talking about this guy having just as much potential as Rio. Josh Sonny Lambie, people are talking to spend 90, 100 million on junior groupie. We have a junior groupie potentially just sitting there with Josh Sonny Lambie. Right there. Give it a year. See how it goes under this guy. He's he's revolutionary with working with young players. Let's see what we've got. We've got some real talent there waiting to come through. Not just the usual sitting in the background, we've got some good young players. So we're going to need to use a lot more players this year. We're not bringing them in. So hopefully, man, we get to see some of these young talents. The Lambies and the Morrisons and, even Abbey in a cup game, maybe. I definitely, I'm very confident about some of these kids we have. Definitely. For the first time in a long time. A couple of good more strikers would be helpful, though. A couple of good more number 9s would be helpful.
Trey Nyoni was the youngest player to ever play or feature in a FA Cup for Liverpool.
Yeah,
but then he just got that record taken away from him by Rio, who featured in
Rio took it. Yeah.
It's a great proving ground for the young midfield of the Championship. It gets them playing every week at that level and prepare them then potentially for the Premier League.
I'm big on. I think Trey is a good player, and I want to see him play. And I think that
top player.
And I think that he deserves more minutes simply because of if he doesn't get them, then he'll probably want to go elsewhere to get them. It's
who do you think whose place does he take for you? I mean, if you're taking the
no, I don't mean as a starter. I don't mean as a starter. I just meant like as in.
No, I just mean because it's an interesting question. Because some people say, "Oh, he's a 6." Other people say he's an 8. Some people say, he can do all. Like I think he's actually close to being someone who can play 6, 8, and 10. Going forward, he's going to. When he's 24, he could be a Yaya Toure. You need to do a job as a 6.
Could
You
you
can do
could
everything basically.
could you make the maybe comparison of maybe this is loosely making it, but I could see him being very similar to a Bashetic in the sense of how we use Bashetic, and I would like to see him be given the versatility that Bashetic was given in our system. But I
Well,
mean, you
the
might not
last
see.
system we played was Arnie's, which was with the double pivot, like someone that has them. And I think he'd be best, like, say, as one of these players, like one of the two players, like behind the attacking midfielder. It would be Verts, wouldn't he, like, for us going forward?
He could play. I mean, there was a game that he played in where he actually had like the most completed passes or something, some record or not record, but like some stat that really stood out. And it's like he is a talented player, talented passer, and I just think that hopefully he can bulk up a little bit, to take on the physicality of the Premier League. But other than that, I think that there's not much left that he would need to do other than get opportunities. And why I'm bringing those things up is because if we start putting roadblocks in front of these players, again, I was not happy. I was vocal about the way that Arne Slot treated a lot of the youth academy players. Other than Rio, I think that the way he treated youth academy players, he had no real. There was reports that came out that said he had no connection with the youth academy at all, really for the most part. In that he was not interested in trying to develop or invest his time in those players. And one of the reasons why players like Rio, the reasons why even before that Trey decided to come to Liverpool was because of the way Jürgen Klopp utilized his youth academy and how other players were able. And again, Iraola is a player that has done well with developing young talent, and I would like to see him. I'm very interested to see how he can what he does with some of the young talent in our if he utilizes and capitalizes on some of the young talent that we have on his team.
Yeah, this is one of the interesting things about Iraola is whether he's got bigger plans for Rio than what Slot did last season in terms of how many minutes he plays. You could see, like, him playing a massive part this season. We won't know, like, straight away, but probably a bigger part than he's playing under Slot.
Yeah, bless up, Red Armchair. Have a good night, bro. Like for me, bro, if you're good enough at that age, you're gonna go through. Like for me, Gerrard, Trent are the two major guys who come through and smashed it. Curtis not so. So, and the way Slot handled Rio, for me, it was sound. Why? Because imagine he played every game and he had to have a bad season with us. We don't know what he would have done to his confidence. We don't know. So we got a bit of a taste of what the future could be. Mm-hmm. So I've got no worries about that. I think this manager seems to like in developing players. Slot was only in the job for a short period, bro. He had no time for the youth business because he gambled his job. You know what I mean? So he was like, "Oh, I ain't got time for that crap. I need fucking guys I know they're gonna do this for me." Jürgen Klopp, different ball game. He knew he was here for the next 8 years, 9 years. So he had that time and chance to let these players.
Not many get that, though, do they?
Say again, bro.
Not many get that security. 8, 9 years. Not many managers say, "I'll be here at a big club."
Jürgen, you knew he was here full time. He's going to be here for a long time. I knew it as soon as he came in. Iraola, he's only signed a 2-year contract.
2-year contract.
So that's a bit weird. But I feel if he smashes it, he'll get an extension. He'll probably want to carry on. Because how long was he at Bournemouth for? Do you know, guys?
3 years.
3 years.
3 years at
3 years. Okay. He's at a big club now, and if he gets loved in the same way Jürgen did, his brother don't want to go nowhere,
I think he signed a 2-year deal with Bournemouth too, right? And then got an extension, right?
Wait. Yeah, he said it. He kind of explained it. Because to me, it was a bit of a. I was like, that's a bit weird. 2 years is very short. Like 3 is short, but it's kind of like, okay, 3, but I mean it's short, but okay. 2 was like I mean,
Like, to me, he should have gone for the
that's
4.
pretty fucking
He'll
short.
get paid then, you know what I mean? So he just gone with the 2. He's a bit. I've never heard that before ever.
Well, he said apparently, yeah, Jay. He said that's the way because he's like, look, and it's an interesting. He said, look, you can be a manager. You can have a 6-year contract, a 2-year contract, a 10-year contract. We all know what football is like. If it ain't working, you're going to get sacked.
Yeah.
So he's kind of putting it, and I was really interested here because apparently it's his choice, the 2-year thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I was really interested here is his version because he was asked and he said, look, I don't really want to look at it like 2 years. Look, if I'm doing well, and he didn't even say it like that because he didn't put it properly. He was like, look, almost, I don't want to know to have 4 years. I know that if I do well, I'll stay. The way he's kind of putting it was like that. Interesting way of putting it. It's like, look, if I do well, I'll stay. But it is very interesting. This way of looking is like, look, I only want 2 years. I don't need 4. It's weird. It is weird. But he's saying like, I don't want to just be at a club because I have a 4-year contract. Was kind of what he was saying. It's like if you're playing well, if you're winning stuff, you'll stay. And it is a very interesting, unique kind of way of looking at it. Like, I don't need 4 years. If they want to sack me, they'll sack me, even if I have 5 years. It is a unique, genuinely, it's a kind of a unique way of looking at it. Where, okay, man, you do you if that's what you want. You know, I think he's saying, look, if it works well, I'll still be here in 5 years. I don't need a 5-year contract to still be here in 5 years. Yeah. If it goes well, I'll still be here in 5 years. I think that's kind of what he's saying. But he's not looking for that. Oh, I've got a death row contract now. If they want to sack me, they'll have to give me 50 million. It's like, no, it's not working. I'll go somewhere else.
And then the way his contract ran out at Bournemouth saved us a lot of headache as well, because his contract ran out, bro. Like
exactly, yeah, JK, like that. He's like, I'll do 3 years here, and then I'll back myself to have done so well that I'll get another job.
Yeah,
you know, so like, a lot of people, I want that 5 years, that security.
My family and all that.
I'll get a check and all that. He's like, no, I'll stay 2 years, and
I respect him for doing that in a weird way.
It's different. It's definitely
he's a different kettle of fish, this guy, bro. Like when you look at him, he's a real sort of down to earth. He'll take the rubbish out. You know, that type of guy. He ain't like a princess sort of kind. You know, like, oh, I need this and I need that. He's like, no, this is how I play football. I've seen videos of him playing football. He's a defender, right back. He liked his back heel.
Yeah, right back. We tried to sign him. Apparently, we tried to sign him just before. When Rafa was here, I think. Apparently, we tried to sign him for right back.
Wow.
Who's this? What player?
Iraola.
Yeah, apparently we tried to sign him back in the day.
Yeah.
Not Rafa, not Rafa. Sorry, no, not Rafa. Rogers, not Rafa. Rogers, when Rogers was here.
Okay. They're not really.
I hadn't heard him before he come to Bournemouth, like, never heard of him, and then I had all of a sudden, I only found out he was a right back about, I don't know, a year ago maybe, or some shit. I found that out. But, apparently he was quite good. He was quite good right back.
He was a goal scoring right back. He liked his back heels, flicks.
Arbeloa
he scored against Barcelona.
But we had to sell Arbeloa because we couldn't not sell him. He wanted to go, but he was brilliant, Arbeloa, wasn't he? What a buy he was after Hossamy. Had Hossamy, who's the first season, and then we got Arbeloa, who's just a little bit better than Hossamy, to put it mildly.
Look, there's a picture of him. Mikel Arteta, and Xabi Alonso, all in the same youth team. They're all in the front row. The three of them. There's Xabi's there, Arteta's there, and Iraola's there.
Yeah. Illuminati shit going on. They're all 44, man. Look.
Well, I'll ask 12 man a question. 12 man, I'll ask you a question. Do you think that this guy is, like I say, he's kind of murder ball, Bielsa light? He's kind of like a halfway house. He's not as insane as Bielsa, but he was managed by Bielsa, which I love. I've always wanted Bielsa to come to Liverpool, but Bielsa is one of those managers that he's almost like a one and done. Like Bielsa don't stay anywhere for 10 years. This guy is intense as fuck. So it's super intense, but you can't do that for 6 years. Right? You can come in for 2 or 3 years and get great results, super intensity, but you can't do it for, it's almost like it's just too intense. You got to move on. So do you think Iraola is one of those kind of guys where maybe he isn't someone looking at Liverpool going, that's where I can go, and in 3 or 4 years do some work, but I can't stay there for 8 years because my stuff is just too intense.
I think that's the reason why that's the reason why that 2-year contract really works out. Like, as in, he could do some real work in setting up and getting the players adjusted to his regiments, and do maybe one more term of 2 more years, which would be a 4-year contract in essence.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And then he'll probably have to leave, because that's when he'll start noticing burnout by a lot of these players if he's going to expect them to go hardcore once again.
Exactly.
I think that's what it is. I don't think he's looking at himself as being like,
oh, legacy manager kind of thing.
I'm not going to have a Jürgen Klopp style, close to decade run at this club. I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna do what Bielsa does in a very similar sense, and really get these guys, their intensity up and get the most out of them, and then move on.
Bring in James Milner as fitness coach, and like, oh no,
right?
This guy means business. Shit. Yeah.
Speaking of James Milner, you asked me about Nyoni and who I think he would replace, right? Or where he would be.
No, it's just sort of like which role he would play. Would it be the 6 or the 8 or the 10?
I would like him as a deep lying progressive number 8. In essence, I would like him to be in the. I said Bashaktek, obviously, because that's an easy comparison, but. And I'm not saying that he's at this level, or I'm not saying he's like, that is like for like. But I know that one of the players that he has mentioned, and one of the players that had influence over him while he was at the club, he wants to model his game after Thiago. Now, I'm not saying he's Thiago, okay, before I get yelled at, okay? But I was hoping Thiago would be coming back. I know there's some issues with his credentials or his and
doesn't have the badges.
Doesn't have the badges to get back into being our assistant coach, and he'll get them. I'm sure he will someplace somehow. But I would like to see Nyoni in that kind of passing guru, like in a sense, in our midfield. I want to see someone that can break down something that we've been missing from the departure of Trent, is the ability from a deep lying position to be able to pass the ball and get it to players that can create. And I think that he could be that player. That's at least my prediction, or my vision of what I see out of I know it's a hefty load to put on on a young player like Nyoni, but that's how I see him.
Well, we've got high hopes for him anyway in Rio too, and Rio should get more action, I'm imagining, this season, like just as a matter of course, a thing of nature. As he gets older, the more games he'll play. Slot's gone now into Iraola, and I'm sure he'll have we'd be pleased to work with him, is a good way of putting it. Sure, we'd be pleased to work with Rio.
Again, and I'm not saying that I want to see Nyoni as a starter. I'm not saying he needs to be, starting in front of like Grav or someone like that. No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying I would like to see him get. I think there's a role that we could see. I'm saying this. How about this? I'm saying that the role that could have been Tyler Morton's, if we had a coach that had not given up on a player, I'd like to see that kind of opportunity be passed on to Trey Nyoni, because I think Tyler Morton's is a talented player. I'm not saying that I'm someone that was yelling and screaming when Tyler Morton left the team, but that's because we just hadn't seen enough of him. I think he's done well in France, but that's just, again, my opinion.
Yeah, Trey Nyoni, bro, he's a good player. He can pass well. For me, he needs to put a bit of weight on and get some food down him.
Yeah.
That's going to help him. That's the only advice I can give him until he
Just
starts
needs to
playing.
grow, yeah.
Get some Indian food down him, some dumplings, everything, bro. You know what
That's
I mean?
why I think the loan
some
could
weight
help
on,
him. Play every
really
week in the
small.
Championship. You have to get used to it quickly, the Hurley Bailey of it physically, and that'll prepare him more for Premier League, hopefully.
But I haven't seen enough of
Well,
Trey Nyoni
look at
to
it.
say what kind of player he is. Where Rio, on the other hand, you see Rio's development, how he was just a bit different in the way he came on the scene, and he used to hold on to the ball too much, and then slowly realised I don't need to hold on to the ball too long. I need to sort of pass it more. So he'll learn the more games they get done, you know. So, but Trey Nyoni, yeah, if he's good enough, he should stay at Liverpool. If he still don't reckon he's good enough, he should send him on loan then. But for me, if he's good enough, get him in the squad. No problem about that. Because our squad is pretty weak.
Go ahead, Brian.
I wouldn't look at it like that in that negative way. It's like basically you've got two types of, like, you've got a player like Trey Nyoni. Like I keep saying, he's 18 years old, 19 years old, like 12 is saying that. You don't walk into, again, as people talk shacking, you know, look, you don't walk into the engine room. You don't walk into the most important parts of the team as a kid. That's really fucking hard to get into the middle of the number 68. Like I say, the engine room. And Nyoni's been on the bench, first team bench, for a long time now for a kid like him. So what I say is, like, let's just say Kostas Tsimikas. What was he, 29, 30, and we loaned him out? You know, that's not a good loan. That's you trying to loan out someone you don't want. You're trying to sell him up. That's not loaning him out to aid his development, right? That's, you know, that he's 29, right? With someone like Nyoni, oh, I know he's back, yeah, but with Nyoni, I would look at it in the positive way, where it's like Nyoni is so close to getting in. That if we keep him on the bench for one more year, we're going to stunt this guy's development. It's all about development. It's about timing. It's about development. It's known this guy is ready for first team football. Is he ready for first team football in the middle of a Liverpool midfield? Okay, that's a different conversation. But he needs to play men's football now. So you loan him out to the Championship. He plays at a really high level, week in, week out, because he's too good. He's too ready to say, he's ready to go now. Is he ready to get in this midfield? No. Right. Let's get him in a team playing a high level football every single week. So then when he comes back next year, that's a good loan. That's not, like, loaning a player out doesn't always have to mean it's a bad thing. It's not like you're trying to get rid. This guy, he's out like a racehorse. He needs to run now. But he can't get into this team because you've got Grav and you've got Mac and you've got Dom. It's about timing, and that to me is like this. I would love to see him do a high level Championship loan. It's all about development. It's all about timing. And we got brilliant people in the background.
Real quick, kind of interject. And just a quick interjection, because if he does that, let's say he goes to Middlesbrough or I don't know, like
Blackburn or whatever it is,
whatever, and he goes there and let's say he performs well, right? Does that guarantee that he comes back and plays for us?
No, I mean, it doesn't. No, there's no guarantees in football, man. There's none at all. But you bring the best version of him back.
Or does that give him a better? Does that give him a better?
Of course it does. I think it does. Yeah, if it's a club monitor loan, definitely. If this stupid stuff with sending McConnell out to Ajax, to Holland, where they produce young, homegrown talents all the time. Why are you sending some random Liverpool kid to Ajax? to get into their midfield. They want to produce their own kids.
Well,
They don't want to
also,
refine our kids.
yeah, I get that, but
I know our manager went there. The
yeah,
ex-guy went there. I know, but but the same with Salzburg. Why we send them to the championship? They don't have to leave England. Send them to Blackburn, Bolton, these Northwest clubs. You keep them around. You can keep an eye on them. You're sending them to clubs whose whole ethos is developing young talents. Red Bull, Ajax, and you want them to produce, to hone our young kids. These are bad ideas. Keep them close. Put them in the championship. If they're good enough to shine in the championship, then you come back. But look, Liverpool will go out and spend 90 million quid on another player next year. That's just the way it is, man. That's like, you have to be so good to get into this team to stop us going out and spend 60, 70 on some other guy. Hopefully Nyoni is another Rio in the 6 or the 8 or whatever it is. But
that's the reason why, Brian, I'm saying that. I know I said that if you give Nyoni the opportunity that you give Rio, you could possibly have our next breakout star. That's just my opinion.
Oh, definitely. Look, play him in the cups, man. I'm not loaning him. Play him in the cups and see how he gets on. Definitely, but they'll make that decision.
I understand that what you're saying, and I just remember Jürgen Klopp said something about how he likes to keep players close to the team, meaning like he rather have them be a part of the team, or even if they're not necessarily loaning them out, but like at least if they're part of the youth academy, they're at least learning the system that they are going to be asked to play, and they're getting familiarity with the players that they most likely will play with when it comes
100%, yeah.
Even if it's in training and not on the pitch, but eventually they will be. But I was also going to ask, like, this is a question. It's related to what we're talking about. Do you believe that Liverpool are getting left behind when it comes to the other clubs that are making big moves? We just saw Chelsea sign Morgan Rogers for 117 million. We just saw Tottenham spend 100 million on Tonali, right? And so far we've gotten Victor Munoz, who I like Victor Munoz. I think
that definitely happened. The Morgan Rogers, it's done. He's gone. The money's been spent.
It's reported that is agreed on.
Oh, that's done. Yeah.
How much is it? I forgot.
117 million.
Yeah, guaranteed. None of that is add-ons. Apparently, that is just straight up 117 million.
A lot of money. A lot of money.
I guess Chelsea has a
lot of money.
Chelsea has another hotel to sell somewhere, I guess. I don't know. But
you got a few hotels on Mayfair, haven't you? Like one on Park Avenue. A few of the ones in Monopoly.
I'm not saying that I want to see us spend like Chelsea. I'm not saying that at all. Like as in frivolously and I don't know. Just at times it seems like Chelsea just spends money to spend money. But do you think that we're getting left behind?
No, I wouldn't shit my pants over that and say we were getting left behind, like just because they've done that. We ain't getting left nowhere if we buy the right players, like, and hopefully we will. I'm just having a bit of faith in Hughes doing his job well in the coming weeks and us getting what we need to be competitive again for Iraola, like for them to have enough to select from to get us straight back to business, which has been in a title race.
I mean, we spent a lot of money last season, but we also sold a lot of players. The year before that, we bought one player really in Chiesa, and that's pretty much the extent of that window. But we've made really one major. Because I mean, the young Colombian that we just bought is 17, so he's not coming. He's not coming here until next year because he's not allowed to, I guess, simply because of his age. What is there's been talk, in some of the chat groups and or at least in some of the, not chat groups, but like, in the chats of some of the bigger channels, especially, people are saying that Liverpool are sitting on their hands, like as in we're being responsibly. Do you think we're being responsibly patient, or are we watching another summer of hesitation where we needed to go bring in that guaranteed center half, or that veteran center half, or that Musala, not necessarily out like for like replacement, but that at least player that can play that role for us on that right wing, that we have the confidence can be our starter.
I'm up for a splashing out a good fee on whoever our biggest signing is, like, repeat the sort of fee that we paid for Verts, maybe like about 115. Do that on maybe Barcola, if the ones that have been mentioned. And we can get him for cheaper, maybe, I don't know. Or we'll have a big name. I'll be having a big name. And then, the others, I'm not that ass, like, as long as they're the right players.
We're obviously in a race for. We were just before Brian joined, we were talking about Manu Koné. We were also talking about we're talking about center half roles, maybe. Or center half players that we could bring into this team, maybe, because our center back position is a little bit light when it comes to having Leo, because apparently Leone isn't as close to returning full time.
No, he's not even in America. He's not going. So that tells you everything.
I was sad to discover this. I sort of assumed that after one full calendar year, almost like that, he'd be all right, but he isn't. But Xhaka looks in fine fettle in the videos of the training I've seen so far.
But in essence, that means that we have Virgil, Xhaka, and Gomez.
That's it. It's insane. It's completely insane. It's completely insane to think that we don't need a new centre half. It's mental.
Yeah.
I mean, we brought in Xhaka and Leone. Yeah, cool, but I mean,
but that's why
it's
I'm asking.
Mental to think we don't need a fourth.
No, the whole is obvious because Ayyob's just left, and he's like quite a high-profile centre back, and he's just left, mate. So the whole is quite obvious. It's not like we haven't realised we need a player to make up for him. Because it's
not like even
down to just Virgil. Remember that when we were down to just Virgil? Don't want to see that again, taking the piss, like, especially with Virgil and his advice.
But the thing with that is even if they are both fit, let's just say Xhaka, I know Xhaka is fit, but Xhaka and Leone were both fit and all that. It's not like they're two 25-year-olds, 26-year-old. They're both still two kids that have never played in the Premier League before. As good as they are and expensive, they're still two guys that have basically zero Premier League experience.
Well, Leone has half a game. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
No, that was a cup game.
Was that a cup game?
One of the calls for the will be whether to start Joe Gomez.
Zero Premier League experience. Two young kids.
Experience in the Premier League, or whether to give Xhaka, I don't know, because he's the other one who's fit currently, and they're the only ones that are, because they only ain't fit. So it'll be like choice between
36-year-old Virgil. We didn't asking 36-year-old Virgil to play another 5,000 minutes next year. Play 90 minutes every time.
Yeah, that can't be allowed to happen. We've got to help him this year. We've got to help him.
I want Virgil to play every minute of every Premier League game. I want Virgil to be fully fit and play every minute of every Premier League game. But I don't want to see him until in the FA Cup or in the League Cup. I don't want to see him until maybe the semis or the final. This idea of playing, he should be able to play 38 games next year, definitely in the Premier League. But if you ask him to also play League Cup and FA Cup and forget about it. In
the Klopp years, I thought we were always one centre back short of being comfortable as a squad, and sometimes it did play a role. And we still are. We're still one centre back short. Using the others as a guide, Man City had 8 at one point. I think it was last season, or not, wasn't long ago. They had 7 or 8. All at
Arsenal
once.
have a million of them. Arsenal have
Yeah,
7 people that can play centre half, probably.
Andy them too, but we're not like because I mean, obviously Endo had to play there when Ayyoub's dad died, like, and then got his own injury. But it's not ideal, is it? You don't want to see that much strain on Virgil that he has to play all the time because he's the only guy who can.
He played basically every minute of every game last year. Then plays a World Cup. And you want him to come back at 36 years. He's not Superman. He's going to break down at some point. So you've got a permanently injured Joe Gomez. As much as we all love Joey, 2 kids, basically, in Jackie and Leone. 2 basically kids. And a 36-year-old Virgil. Come on, lads. Come on, let's be serious here. I mean, that's not good. That is as much as Jackie and Virgil will stay for the whole season and be amazing. It's a hell of a gamble to take. It might work, but it's a hell of a gamble to take.
Joe's got a shitload of Premier League experience, but like the experience of Joe in recent seasons, fitness-wise, has just been not good enough. You can't count on him.
You can't bank on him. If he's fit, you've got a great player, but you can't say you're going, we'll have Joey for next 9 months. No, stop. No, come on. Joey is fit when he's fit, and when he is, he's great. But
we need him badly when Ayyob's dad died, like, and the place was up for grabs. We needed him then, but he weren't fit, and then no had to play it.
What I was going to say is, then who do you see that we should target to bring in for center half? And that's before we wrap up the show, because we're almost coming on 3 hours for the show. We obviously have Virgil, we have Nyoni, we have Jaquette, and we have Joe Gomez, but Leone's not available, so that brings us 3 center halves. The names out there are Schlotterbeck. Van de Ven is still technically a name that we could maybe pursue. I know the name LaCroix, or the center half LaCroix for Crystal Palace has become a very big name that people are looking at. There is the
get Laporte in for a year or 2.
Ordonez plays for Club Bruges. There's
yeah, I've seen him a few times.
I'm trying to think of what his name, how you even pronounce his name. Finn Jet. He plays for Stuttgart. I know that. He's a center back, plays for Stuttgart. Apparently, he's on the radar. I know. Again, people hate when I bring up Bastoni's name. Some people do, at least. I know Bastoni's still a name out there that maybe we could go for as well. Who is it that we should prioritize to bring in if we need to prioritize a player?
Has to be an experienced man. Doesn't have to be Premier League experience, but experience wherever he's been. You know what I mean? Not another youngster. Or a youngster and an experienced guy. So we have like 2 new ones, like, to go with Virgil, Leone, and Xhaka.
Like for me, bro, a Laporte. You know what I mean? I think he's playing Saudi Arabia or somewhere.
Or I know this will trigger this will definitely trigger Ryan. Or John Stones.
It'd be boss if he'd done that and it worked. He got Laporte and brought him here and it worked.
John Stones, the Everton connection, the Man City one, he's no way coming to Liverpool.
Wow. Why?
Nah, he won't. No, that's not going to happen. And we don't know with his injuries as well, bro. He's a bit.
No, he's got terrible injury record. Absolutely, I'm not saying he doesn't.
But we just need one guy, because I agree with Brian in that way. I'm sort of worried because Fozzie did this thing earlier. He put the squad all up on the screen, and on the right we had Harvey Elliott and that new Spanish lad, and that's it to replace Salah. I was like, oh damn. And when you look at the centre back situation, Leone, we don't know where he's at fitness wise. The other lad, Jaquettes, he hurt his shoulder, so it's a different sort of injury. You know what I mean? but he looks sound. But then you got Gomez. Are them four going to be able to handle 4 competitions? And that's what it's all about. That's why another one coming in, experience. Yeah, man.
Yeah, we need some experience and sense back alongside Virgil.
I asked the question: are we getting left behind? You guys, the majority, or I think the overwhelming loud opinion, I think, from Lee was that we are not. However, we just talked about we need a center half, we need a right wing, we need a DM, we need a right back.
Looking at it the positive way, we're not getting left behind. That's all. We're going to make the right signings, and we'll be back to our usual caper of being in the title race this season instead of that crap we had to endure last season. Which actually sent people to sleep, didn't it? Like, actually sent people to sleep in the crowd. I've seen pictures of men asleep in the crowd. Not a good thing, is it? Like when the footy's putting you to sleep.
Yeah, it's all down to the manager at the end of the day, football, you know what I mean? If the manager gives their players a top energy, all them new signings last season would have smashed it. I think not really any of them smashed it. Ekitike did well, got injured though. Wirtz did okay, but not great. Kirkus finally sort of found his feet. The manager wasn't right for me, so we definitely need...
Arsenal getting left behind, JK. Arsenal are the ones getting left behind, man. That's right. Rodgers is going to, Chelsea. We're going to get Barcola. They're the ones that are getting left behind because everyone's looking at their shitty football and their one league in 8 years. And you got all these really weak Liverpool fans going, oh, Arsenal is such a bigger draw than us now. It's like, wait, hang on. Arsenal's a bigger draw than Liverpool because they've won one league title under like the worst manager in history. We were the league champions a year ago, but now all of a sudden Arsenal is the bigger draw than Liverpool. This is what I'm hearing. The Barcola. If Arsenal want Barcola, will go there. No chance. Barcola will go to Arsenal over Liverpool if he wants him. No chance. You got Morgan Rogers could have played for the Premier League champions, and he took one look at Arteta ball. He went, "Nah, I'd rather go to Chelsea." What does that tell you?
That tells you everything.
What does that tell you?
What I am monumentally enthusiastic about in the coming season is that Enzo Maresca is shit for Man City, and it all goes bad because Pep's gone now, and they said shit, and we
won the league, and we got Wirtz and Ayyoub coming in. You know what I mean?
I was just going to say, unfortunately, the only thing I could, yes, you're going to hear me say something positive about Arsenal in a sense, not about Arsenal the team, but in the sense of they do have London is a draw for some players, if not for at least some, maybe the wives or the families that would rather be in London.
Chelsea's in London.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, so Morgan Rogers had a choice between living in London and playing for Arsenal or living in London and playing for Chelsea. He said, fuck it, I'll play for Chelsea. I'm not going to play for those guys. It's hilariously brilliant. He was their number one target. Number one target was Morgan Rogers for Arsenal. And this whole propaganda now, they're like, oh, well, we weren't going to overpay for him. No. Arsenal would have paid every penny for Rogers.
Yeah.
Every penny that Chelsea paid, they would have given them the same money. No doubt. It's 117 million. It wasn't 200. So you got all these Arsenal people coming out saying, oh, well, it was too much money. But no, Arsenal would have paid that. Rodgers basically had a choice between Arsenal and Chelsea, and he chose Chelsea. What the hell does that tell you? Barcola has a choice. He has a choice, basically, between Bayern, Liverpool, and Arsenal. He can go. Those are the three clubs that will buy him right now, tomorrow. They'll buy him. And basically, everybody knows he doesn't want to join Bayern. He's humming and hawing over Arsenal, and he will join Liverpool in a heartbeat. You've got people who look at Arsenal as like, it's the opposite of these people. Oh, why would someone want to join Liverpool? Because we had one bad fucking season under a coach who's now been sacked.
Yeah.
We were the Premier League champions the year before. Forget that shit. People are looking at 8 years of Arteta at Arsenal and saying, I don't care if they won the league last year. That's not a club I want to go to. Liverpool, it's the opposite. Yeah, fair enough, they had a bad year last year, but it's still Liverpool. They won the league. It's a completely different scenario. There's so many weak Liverpool fans out there going, oh, no one wants to join us now because we were shit under Slot and Arteta won the league. Fuck off.
Yeah,
We're 10 times the club Arsenal. We are 10 times the club Arsenal.
Simple.
What
Simple
who is before we, because we're gonna end the show pretty soon. Do you have a center half? You don't want Virgil to play all the games. Then who are we bringing as a center half?
I forgot because we were mentioning Slotterback.
Zabarni. I'd say Zabarni. He's played under Iraola. He's played under Iraola, so he plays a lot in League One for PSG, but he doesn't play in the Champions League. So give him their money back. I know he's only 23. He's only 23.
Do a double deal.
I know Senesi was the older one, 29. Get Zabarni, give them their money back. 50 million quid, 60, whatever. Bring Zabarni in. 23 years old. He's worked under previous manager. He's played in England. Bring him in.
Yeah, him and Barcola.
Zabarni, VVD.
I will pay whatever.
Lovely.
Yeah. I wouldn't pay like a ridiculous amount, but whatever they wanted, and they said, right, if we're going to let him go, it's this, then I would pay that just to bring him in.
Yeah,
so
fine.
After some experience.
Lee's buying.
It lessens the burden on Xhaka and Leone then coming in as young lads.
Lee's buying, all right, bro.
Perkins has played under him. Zabarni would have played. So half your back four will know the manager, won't need, a ton of coaching. He can come in late, he'll know the manager, know the system. Fine, yeah, great, perfect. Do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do a double deal with PSG.
For
that kind of money, I still want my Bastoni.
I don't know if that's not how I think. I mean, there's a bit of a legal issue going on there as well.
Yeah, but now the legal issue is
you got that shit going on. Yeah,
well as taking thingy from France potentially. Who were we talking about just then? To open PSG Zabarni, but maybe a DM from France as well. And was it Sangare and the other lads?
Oh well, yeah, hopefully. That'd be nice.
Fella.
All right,
Sangare and Kamara, two of the big names.
Yeah, we've got a couple of names, haven't we? Like from French teams. We definitely need that DM, don't we? As well as like an experienced centre half. And then we need a replacement for Mo Salah potentially. And maybe a right back if our luck is out at right back again, which we have to prepare for, obviously. Everyone having to go at right back again next season because of Bradley and Frimpong not being fit. I just think Frimpong's able to be fit, but some people doubt now whether he's a good back four or a flat back four.
This is going to be the season of Frimpong. I know that Cinderella has just left the ball because it is past midnight in the UK. So
the witching hour.
Exactly. Someone said, I think there was a coach that talked about nothing good happens after midnight or something.
Well, I watched the film called The Exorcism of Emily Rose, and it was in the witching hour that an alarm clock fucking went off and she got possessed right after midnight. It wasn't that good, actually. I'll tell you what one is shit. The Pope's Exorcist with Russell Crowe. That one is shit. It's about as scary as watching the Muppets or something, you know what I mean?
I don't even watch that crap.
How scary as Sesame Street it was.
I think Lee might have just turned into a pumpkin, but this is where we'll leave the show. There is something that I do have. I do have one other thing. I have my moment of red sense that everyone can comment on, but the World Cup has ended. Iraola is on the training pitch, which is great to see. Liverpool are headed to the United States, which is great for those of us that are in the United States. look, if you're a true red, hopefully you have no excuse but to subscribe. So hopefully you take that privilege and honor to be a part of this community, because that's exactly, as you can see, this community, the chat that you've been a part of is absolutely fantastic, and the panels that we put together and the people that are part of them are absolutely top notch. So don't forget to like when you join the stream, turn notification bell on, and everything else, But my moment of Red Zen is the fact that, yes, Liverpool are going to be in the United States, and they've announced their squad for the tour. This is the squad. It includes Joe Gomez, Endo, Jaquette, Kirkes, Dom, Connor Bradley, which is good to see, by the way. I'm glad to see Connor Bradley is on the list there. Federico Chiesa, Leone is on the list, but I don't know why he's on the list, but because as Brian said, he's not going, or I think he's not going. Brian can confirm that or not. But Curtis Jones, Elliott, Simicast,
Who's that? Who's not going?
Maybe he's going with the team, but he's not going to participate. Leone is on the list.
Oh, Leone, yeah, Leone. There's 6 players that have gone that are actually injured. Apparently, Ekitike is with them.
Yeah,
Ekitike has traveled. Yeah, there's like Bradley, Ekitike, Leone. There's 6, I think, that have gone that are actually unavailable to play.
He's not.
Yaros.
He's not on this list though. But Ekitike is not on this list. But yeah. But I'm not saying.
No, he's there. He's on that list there. He's on. Ekitike is there. Yaros is injured. Ekitike is injured.
Oh, I see his name. Actually, yes,
is injured.
I see it.
Yeah, there's 6 players that have actually traveled that are injured. So it's just keep. Yeah, exactly. They're not expected to play.
Mm-hmm.
Yaros, he's injured. Basetic, Ekitike, Bradley, Endo, Leone, and one other player are all technically injured.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, technically.
Hamstring injury.
Yeah, there's a few. Dan's didn't travel, and Duque is going to go, but apparently he's going to go on loan for the year. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting. Yeah, they brought Ekitike. That's interesting, even though there's clearly no chance he'll play. They brought him along, and like you say, squad building and keeping him around and keeping all that. It's fine.
So what's wrong with Bouaddi?
He's got a hamstring injury, or at least that's what last I saw.
Dan's has got a hamstring injury as well. Basetic just had twins as well. His wife just gave birth to twins as well. So he's got a lot on his plate. He's looking to go back to Spain, apparently, anyway.
I thought you were saying that's how he got his hamstring injury. But anyway.
Uh-oh.
Putting in work.
Actually, on the job, so to speak.
Yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations, definitely. Congratulations to your new additions. There'll be senior players joining later on in the tour. That's why I'm excited, because the last game is in Chicago, and by then maybe some additional names that were part of the World Cup might be a part of the tour. They might not play, but at least they'll be a part of the tour. To at least be there with the team.
Yeah,
it'd be a good thing for them, the young lads who are there, like this will help them. You know what I mean? It all does. Any experience with the first team squad does.
And that'll give Jaquette the chance to play as a leader on that pitch, or with Gomez or whatever. Instead of playing next to Virgil, they'll have that opportunity just to be the boss. So that'll be good. You know what I mean? But I think Virgil and all them guys left the World Cup a long time ago, so they've been chilling, mate. So they'll join up in a bit then, won't they? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I like that he's rested his legs for longer than necessary. Maybe it was a good thing he bumped into Morocco and lost that penalty shootout. So he's had some rest, and he for once with Virgil, but not much. And we can't over-rely on him next season. That can't be overstated enough how much we cannot over-rely on Virgil next season. There has to be some,
100%. 100%. You have to take the load off, and he played every minute of every. He did Bukayo Saka stuff last year. Exeter away, we're 4-0 up. He's still playing.
Yeah.
You know, this nonsense needs to stop.
That first FA Cup game.
Yeah,
tempting fate. Them words spring to mind.
But fair play to him, he's kept fit majority of his career with us bar that injury.
Other than Jordan Pickford, that's it. If it wasn't for Jordan Pickford, Virgil has basically had his whole career uninjured.
Yeah, and Pickford's alright. Doing that movie.
Well, it's a sort of amusement to me that his face doesn't tan. He just went red. His face looks like a baboon's ass, Jordan Pickford. But Anthony Gordon does tan and looks significantly less like a witch now that he's got a tan. So I'm pleased for him. Like, seeing as how it's the witching hour, I'll mention witches. Anthony Gordon did look like a witch when he was very pale. All he needed was the ass broomstick. You know what I mean? You'd see him airborne and that. Like,
Pickford maybe and Gordon are like cousins. And Pickford and Gordon are like cousins, them two.
I think he looked like a pumpkin. How about that? Anyway, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with our team during preseason. I think it's going to be interesting to see who starts on that right wing. I think we're going to see Chiesa. I think we're going to see maybe even Harvey Elliott there. We'll see probably Rio there too. Maybe we see, I don't know if the guys like this idea or not. Maybe we see Dom in that role as the right wing of this team.
You'll see Josh Abbey as well. I think at some point, you'll definitely see Josh Abbey.
Yes.
So he'll be like Josh Abbey to me is like the potential next Rio. This guy has only just turned 16, and we fought off Man City. We fought off Real Madrid. This guy is potentially like a real talent, and we're bringing him to America. Just turned 16.
Mm-hmm.
He is a right winger.
Very exciting. Yeah,
but he's a right winger. Exactly, he's a right winger though. He's not like, what is he? Oh, he can play left. He can play right. No, this guy is a right winger. You know, it's really so he's someone that I'd love to see. But I mean, 16. Come on. Who knows though? Who knows? Josh Lamby. These are the ones you want to look at. Chiesa, Dom. We know what they can do. Mm-hmm. We know we don't need a preseason to know what Chiesa can do. We don't need a preseason to know what Dom can do. He can play right back, right wing, left wing, 8, 9, 10, whatever. Mm-hmm. This is where you see how good is Josh Abbey, because he's really close, man. Really, really close.
I'll tell you this.
That's what I'm looking forward to seeing. Definitely. Are you going? Well, are you able to go to any of the games?
I'm trying to go to Chicago. Yeah, that's the game. I have. I've never. It's going to be at Soldier Field, and I've got connections or friends in the area that can definitely hook it up. So that's why I was trying to figure or hook up my stay. I still got to buy the ticket, so we'll see. But
you was at the last one.
No, Sunderland is the first one, right? Tennessee, Sunderland.
Oh yeah, the games are on here too. Yeah, I'll bring up the games are on the bottom there. Sunderland.
Oh yeah. Sunderland, then Wrexham, then Leeds. Okay, yeah.
And Wrexham, originally, I'm not going with my brother this time, but my brother had he suggested if I came home, we could go see Wrexham because he was going to get tickets again, and we'd go to New York because it's at New York City, so it'd be it wouldn't be that hard. It wouldn't be that difficult for us to go to that game.
Didn't Everton buy Jordan Pickford off Sunderland? I mean, he's still a young guy in goalkeeping terms, and what he done to Virgil might happen to him one day. He could be on the receiving end of a tackle like that from a centre forward, which breaks his leg in half, quite badly, and then puts him out for a year. That could still happen to Jordan Pickford.
Or he could let 2 goals in at the last 5 minutes of a semi-final of a World Cup.
Oh wow! Too soon.
Makes him sad to try and support England with that titting goal. Get him away from me. I was like doing a
Exactly.
cross in front of me with my fingers, like a cross and that.
Yeah, with him in goal, you
I
know.
was gonna say, real quick, Josh Abe is Brian's player that he's most interested in seeing in the preseason. I assume that you're right. That's what you said, right?
Him, Josh Sonny Lambie, and Kieran Morrison. I think Kieran Morrison is the closest, but Abe is clearly seen as someone with a real, potential. Yeah,
Okay.
hopefully. Yeah, hopefully.
How about for you guys? That's Brian's choices. JK, what are your choices?
Yeah, I wanted to see Bacicic and Nyoni, I tell you the truth. But I don't think both of them are going. So that's messed that one up. That Morrison lad, he was on the bench a few times last season.
Very good.
So he'll get their game time. Whoever, bro, at the end of the day, like these youngsters have seen the World Cup now. And they might think, oh, I want to be part of that. And that might give them a boost to play well when they go to America. So we'll see anyway. They get that chance. Under the new manager, sound.
Have they even give a prognosis time-wise on how long Hugo will be away from getting back into first team action?
I think winter, innit? January or something like that.
You're talking 2027, really, aren't you?
Yeah. That was a weird one, his injury.
Causes a bit of a problem because when we got Alexander then, doesn't it? And we got Cozy can play the position.
That's kind of the issue, yeah. Bit of an issue there.
Alone would be convenient, wouldn't it? Maybe until Hugo's fit again.
I think Lee's trying to get 12 man to say Darwin Núñez. That's what Lee's trying to do.
Hendrick's the fella. Hendrick and knock down.
Hendrick.
Done that tackle on Ayyoub when Ayyoub was playing boss in the title season and put him out.
No, I was going to say.
Spent out that season is needless tackle on Ayyoub.
I'm interested in seeing Will Wright play. I think that's the player I'd like to see.
Yeah.
He's the only one.
Jaden Dan's, Jaden Dan's not being there might open up a pathway or an opportunity for a young player. Unfortunately for Jaden Dan's, Jaden Dan's is a talented player. I would love to see him play. He's just always injured, and it's unfortunate that he's just been injuries that have done similar, hijinks to his career, the same as Pachetic. So.
Oh yeah, 2 years nearly now, injured. Dan's, and he's now currently injured. But you're spot on. If you take Isaac out of our team right now, the next actual number 9 in our team is Will Wright, and he's never played Premier League football before.
Yeah,
that's shady.
It's insane. So what are we going to do? Isaac is going to play every game next year? Champions League, Well, no.
Well, it's a bit like you like the way we take them.
Was a backup 9.
No, I don't want to see that either.
I
don't want to see Chiesa or Gakpo.
No. We need to say, look, Ekitike, you might come back, but right now we need to do something, which is why I like this Ferran Torres link, because that's a versatile forward, a guy that can come in, can cover, and when Ekitike comes back, we can deal with it. But we need what's Isak going to do? Play FA Cup, Carling Cup, Premier League, Champions League, every game? No, that's not going to happen. Okay, what's the next cab off the rank? Will Wright is your next cab off the rank. If you want to talk about actual number 9s, Figueroa. There's a huge gap there. It's a huge gap, man.
I was hoping that Kidro was going to be on this tour. He didn't even make the tour, so I'm.
This is how short we are, man. This is how short we are.
Figueroa. He's a 19-year-old talented player. His dad was a big name as well in football.
He played for Wigan. That's bad.
Yeah, Wigan. Yeah, and
he's a brilliant header of the ball. By the way, Keylor Figueroa. He is a brilliant header of the ball. Okay. He plays as number 9. He's got this weird skill that most people don't have. He's It's just great. You think his dad is left back?
You're talking about the son or the dad?
Yeah, Figaro. He's a brilliant header of the ball. He scores like I've seen a little comp of him. He's got, I know it's got the Andy Carter. Not many people. It's not. It's a redundant skill almost these days. Being a header, But yeah, no, it's just we're so short, man.
No, I think
like I said, it only takes Isak to be out for a week.
Isn't that
a month?
Isn't that closest claim to fame one of his claim to fame was his ability to head the ball?
Yeah. But all it takes is Isak to be out for a month, right? He gets a kick on the ankle, and he gets the flip, right? Kick on the ankle. He doesn't have to break his leg or anything. A kick on the ankle, and he's a flip. Who's our number 9? And we're trying to win a Premier League.
In a similar vein, if Joe Gomez gets a kick on the ankle and isn't available, then it's got to. Well, it ain't Leo starts off with because he ain't fit, so it's Xhaka, innit? It's defo the guy. He's the only guy if that's the case. If Joe can't play,
yeah, we've got a stacked squad, but with huge, obvious gaps in real problem positions. It's like, this guy's good. We are one injury away from playing.
Real quick, now that you just sparked a question.
You're
right. Everything you said. But is it maybe, and I'm not saying anything to do with the status of Liverpool or anything like that. I'm not saying anything like that, but I am connecting it to the point of, is it maybe a little bit of a precautionary, if you're an agent, let's say, precautionary thing to tell your client to go to Liverpool, considering the coach has a 2-year deal, sporting director is virtually out the door. Edwards didn't have a real say in how football decisions were made in bringing in players. I wanted to ask Brian this question. That sucks, but because it was because of what he just said, but do you think that is maybe a deterrent? Do you think that's maybe a deterrent from some of these players being like, yeah, let me get signed up with Liverpool, because the coach is going to be there for 2 years, maybe.
It's a new coach coming in. I'm not sure on that, but all I know is that we need a good amount of players, a few players, and we definitely need an experienced one at centre back, to help Virgil, and so to lessen the immediate expectations on Xhaka, and then Leone when Leone gets fit. But we definitely need a DM. I mean, there's probably no way in the world we could convince Chelsea to sell us Moises Caicedo, but that is exactly the type of guy I would have. If we have anyone and say, yeah, you give us him.
They'll sell us. They'll sooner to sell us Enzo.
No.
They'll sell us Enzo. They're not going to sell us Caicedo.
No, they're not hardy. That would never happen, which is a shame.
All right, well, people, I was hoping to get an answer from, because it was Brian's what Brian was saying that just sparked that thought. But maybe we'll get an answer from him another time. I appreciate him joining the feed here, live stream, and I appreciate obviously JK and Lee equally so in holding it down with me. And I enjoy the fact that people in the chat, a good number of people in the chat, stayed with us this entire time. I know it's late; it's 12:30. We are going to let you guys do your thing at 12:30 in the UK, at least. We're going to let you guys do your thing, enjoy the rest of the show, or enjoy the rest of your evening, morning, whatever the case might be. Lee, do you want to say something to the people before we bounce?
Yeah, just thanks to everybody who's been in, or anyone who's still there as well. Cheers for your contributions and your thoughts. See you again soon. Hopefully we'll have some transfer news soon,
JK,
some solid transfer news, actual transfer news. Before too long.
None of the speculation stuff.
The clock's ticking, isn't it? Before the beginning of the next season, so we better get down to it. If we're buying some players, and helping the good players we've already got, get us to the level we need to be at, which is a lot better than last season's level, which was unacceptable. Want to see us back to our, title chasing sort of thing. Like, so we're actually in the discussion for the title. Because last season we just weren't. It become apparent like after about October that it was going to be a troubling season, and it really was, wasn't it? So it's got to be better than that. What we got this season has to be better than that. Struggle to be worse, actually, wouldn't it? Like, but I've got enough faith in the man anyway so far in Iraola, like, that he can sort us out, and that we can identify good players for him to use alongside the other good ones that we've got. So, yeah, thanks everyone. Yeah, thanks everyone who's been in or still listening.
Okay, yeah.
Likewise.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, likewise, bro. Nice one for the chat as always. Brian coming back as well. Is that the Jackson reunion? Just missing Alante. That was cool. And best of Fozzie as well, and all the proper Liverpool fans out there.
Yeah. Just as they say, some things in life are bad. They can really make you mad, but always look on the bright side of life, right? As Lee was just doing. So till tomorrow, keep your heads up, people, and always know, up the Reds each and every time. We'll be back. I'll try to get on a little earlier tomorrow, so that it can accommodate for JK and Lee, so they don't have to stay up so late. So and Lante if he's a part of the show, and maybe even Brian if he pops in again. But all the same, we wish you everyone well. I hope that everyone continues to tune in, and we will see you soon. Take care, and up the Reds, like I said.